good. Here's Wade in transition.
Hey!
Gonna flush it home.
Well, for a 2021 Bowl Series here at University Stadium. Short kickoff. Fielded about the 20.
Oh,
Gonzalez got
yeah.
a big gap up the middle,
Big
one man
gap.
to beat. Let's see, beats Contreras.
He's got it.
Gonzalez will return it 80 yards for a touchdown. And it was just a matter of time before he found a crease.
It's a privilege, you know, it's not a right. And I think these kids have found that out.
Witness on the quarterback
He's
option.
gonna have it.
Will break it up the middle for a touchdown.
Good job.
36-yard touchdown run by Juan Fuentes. Following.
Oliveras fakes the drive inside, trying to turn it around, draws contact, puts it up, count it, and what opportunity upcoming for Oliveras.
Again. Yeah, they're.
Back to pass, getting some pressure.
Oh, wide
Link
open.
to Great House, Mike, go 50.
What did he end up, 4 over? He still managed to battle his way through it. He's still, I think, going into day 2 after Justin Rose, Bryson at +4 probably is still the story. He's going off at what is it, 10:30 Eastern time? I don't even know what time I'm on. Usually it adjusts, but is it 10:30 Eastern time? He was all over the yard, JJ.
He was, and we know that's what happens with Bryson. Even when he's bombing it, he's not always hitting these fairways with the way he's playing, so his second shot is going to be really tough, but a lot of the times we're hoping that that second shot for Bryson is short and manageable, even if he's not necessarily in the fairway. But the Masters, it can get you, and it nipped a lot of guys yesterday, and they were various. There was what Sergio compared it to Evander Holyfield, others compared it to Mike Tyson. Like, it got some guys. Absolutely. What Justin Rose did, he had that 3-hole stretch where he went really low, was really impressive, but it played what you'd expect it to. It got guys.
3-hole. I mean, he was 2 over after 8, ended up 7 over, so he went 9 under on the last 11 holes. It's 2 under after 7. He went 9 under on the last 11 holes. Impressive. I mean, it was ridiculous what he did. And when you compare it to what everybody else did in these 4 strokes clear of the field, everybody else got beat up by that golf course yesterday. Everybody else got beat up by the golf course yesterday. I mean, you look just the way.
Don't sacrifice quality of play when you're in a hurry.
You've got 13 guys are under par. 13 out of 88. That's how hard Augusta was yesterday, and you just watch it. It's got no rain, so it's so dry and so fast. And I'm not sure that they were expecting any weather other than wind to dry it out. So it'll be fun. And we'll keep you up to date on the leaderboard. You got some guys out. Mackenzie Hughes is the highest on the leaderboard, who's out already this morning. He's at -1 on the day and -1 on the tournament. And but your leaderboard, Justin Rose at -7, Hideki Matsuyama and Brian Harmon at -3, so 4 strokes clear. And then you got, I like Will Zalatoris. Patrick Reed is right there. So we'll get there. If you want to get in all day today, whatever it is, and we'll set the table for you. 505-246-0610 is how you find us. 246-0610. Emails Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Find JJ on the Twitter, _JJ Buck. If you're not following him, you should be. And on the Facebook, the OD in the AN. Aaron is producing. You can watch the show courtesy of ProView Networks, a very busy ProView Networks. You can watch it on ProViewNetworks.com or on our Facebook page. Bobcat will take your call back at Radio Ranch in downtown Albuquerque. 9:30 this morning, Gwen Maley's going to be with us. Big weekend for Lobo women's soccer, as they have already clinched the Mountain Division of the Mountain West Conference. And as JJ told you yesterday, if they win one of their 2 this weekend at home, they will host the conference championship with the right to go to the NCAA tournament on the line. Big weekend for Lobo soccer, and it's been a big year for our 9:30 guest.
Yes, Gwen Malley is going to join us, the senior who wasn't sure if she's going to have a senior season. It's a really incredible story. You know, she's one of the players that benefited the season being pushed to spring. She tore her ACL last year, wasn't cleared to resume playing until January, and then that allows her to be a big part of this team. She was one of Heather Dyke's first recruits when she took over. So Heather's first season coaching was 2015. Gwen arrived on campus in 2016. So it's a really good story, and just wanted to get some personalities on this team that's had an amazing season. We're talking Mountain Division champs, playing for a chance to host a Mountain West title game, and a team that, oh, by the way, it's only given up 2 goals and scored 20 on the year. Just great soccer and better people all around, too.
I want you to say that again. What's the overall record? What's their record?
They are 7-1 right now.
All right, so they've played 8 games. They're 7-1. Did you just say they have given up 2 goals and they've scored 20 in their 8 games?
Yes.
All right. So, I mean, look, whether you like soccer or not, do the math, figure it out. Heather's got to be coach of the year, doesn't she?
Well,
I mean, we said that about
yes.
Bradbury, and I understand. And there's somebody on the other side who's going to play for a championship, whether it's San Diego State or whoever's going to come out of the other division. But the dominance that they've shown, like everybody's gone through COVID, right? Everybody, and at this point, everybody's gone through whatever they've gone through. And as tough as it is in New Mexico, or has been, they played home matches. But to be that dominant, and the program coming from where they've come from, and there hasn't been a long history there. And again, 20 goals for, 2 against. And in soccer, that matters, right? A lot of times tiebreakers go down to goal differential, as we well know, or at least you do. And you being the voice of global women's soccer on television, you watch the dominance. Numbers sometimes can be misleading, but I'm having a hard time believing that I'm being misled by that stat.
No, they've earned every bit of that, especially defensively, on what they've done. To just take over the Mountain Division. Now, I'm really excited for the opportunity to see them play a team from the West, because at least in the preseason, we figured there would maybe be a few more teams that were a little bit better in the West. But to just go out there and leave no doubt is impressive, and that's what we ask for from good teams.
Right.
Let's go out there and handle your business, and don't leave any doubt. And yeah, they're frustrated. The one loss they had, a 1-0 loss at Utah State. There were plenty of things that weren't great about that game. They were playing in an indoor training facility on a smaller field. The roof came into play, like the ball was hitting the roof, and yeah, it wasn't an ideal day. They didn't respond well. But what they did is, no, I don't know what the deal was that pushed them inside to that training facility when they played Utah State. But they bounced right back. Went on the little streak of winning the games following that, setting up this weekend. You got senior night tonight against Wyoming. Then they'll play Colorado State on Sunday. And one win, as you mentioned, clinches that Mountain West title game that would be played here in Albuquerque then.
All right, that'll be at 9:30 this morning. We're going to get into the NFL news, the Deshaun Watson story, whatever developments there have been. Julian Edelman may not play next season, so we got NFL stuff to talk about. The NBA, once again, last night it was the Phoenix Suns who were somewhat the story, so we'll go there. I'll get you numbers on the NCAA championship game. And Governor Lujan Grisham has signed it into law. Name, image, and likeness, the NIL that you hear so much about, is now law and legal in New Mexico. So that means the student athletes at New Mexico State, and Highlands, and Eastern, and Western, and everywhere else for that matter can earn money for their name, image, and likeness. What that means and how important that is to those student athletes, we'll go there. Keep you up to date on the Masters. We will get some Major League Baseball for you as well. And of course, I know a lot of you were out at state soccer over the last day, and champions being crowned. We'll get there as well. You can watch the show on ProViewNetworks.com or on our Facebook page, The OD and the AM. Of course, it's rebroadcast every day, 3 o'clock on Comcast Channel 26. Aaron's producing for you there. Bob's got your phone calls at area code 505-246-0610. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen? Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradies.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Hi, I'm Sarah.
Game, make sure that, well, you can see. I tell you that because I had my LASIK done. Back in 2003, I went and saw Dr. Stephen Coleman over at Coleman Vision. I was wearing glasses and contact lenses since high school, and I was tired of it, and that's when I was anchoring the morning news, getting up at 3 in the morning and putting on my glasses and then going to put on makeup, and I was done. And so Dr. Coleman diagnosed me with astigmatism, and, well, I didn't know what astigmatism was, but that's what he specializes in. Look, Dr. Coleman's the best. When it comes to LASIK, there's a reason people come from all over the country to go see Dr. Stephen Coleman at Coleman Vision. He's in on creating and developing the latest technology in his industry, technology that's developed at Sandia Labs in Albuquerque, and Dr. Coleman's in on it. And for me, I had my surgery done at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, opened my eyes, and instantly noticed the difference, and anchored the news at 5 o'clock the next morning, and haven't worn lenses since. It changed my life, and not a lot of things are life-changing, but that was. And since then, the Colemans have become family to me, and they've been great in our community. If you think you are a candidate for LASIK, if you're done wearing lenses, go see the best. This is your eyes. Don't play around with this. Stephen Coleman is the best. Go to ColemanVision.com, take a look at what they're all about, and then give them a call, make an appointment at 505-821-8880. That's 505-821-8880. Seeing is believing. Tell you what, I sure as heck believe. It's the opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. All right, state champions crowned all over the place. Girls, Albuquerque High, St. Pius in soccer. J.J., you did the Sandia Prep, Bosque Prep game yesterday. 2-0, I believe, was the number. You know where I stand on this. It was the same way I was for cross country. I know they're shortened seasons. Football played bowl games last week. For me, coming through what we've been through over the last 13, 14 months, I'm just glad these kids get to play. And watching what I've been able to watch live, I've been at a football game and cross-country meets, and the videos that I'm seeing courtesy of our good friends at ProView Networks, just the pictures, the Facebook posts, the the Twitter posts. If you got a horse in the race, it's a big deal. I'm just glad these kids get to play and seeing the genuine joy. And you're out there every day now doing these. I think ProView did 70 games this week. I'm just glad they're out there competing.
100%. This absolutely matters, especially, of course, state championship games yesterday that we saw, A3A boys and girls in the state soccer tournament, and then even the high school basketball. And you're talking to the coaches and being able to talk to the players a little bit. When you give them the player of the game and you ask them just what it's like to finally be here at the moment, and all of them have just said they're just so happy to get a chance to play, because none of them knew if they're going to play or not at all this season. With the way that the year ended last year, I'm talking the fall, coming into this year, there's still so much uncertainty back in January. But now to see the athletes getting a chance to compete overall, their attitudes have been great. They're still playing at a high level. When you look at just the game that I was doing yesterday, so at least talking to head coach Tommy Smith at Sandia Prep, he was so happy about his team, how they handled everything. They got in 12 regular season games, and it was a very small tournament. It was a 4-team field, the semifinal, finals. So everything is has shrunk a little bit overall when it comes to the state tournaments, especially due to the shortened regular seasons. And then just the players, they're all about it. They just want the opportunity to compete, be there with their teammates, and you see that.
That's why when I get these emails, what kind of season is this, Jeff? They only played X number of games. You know what? Take the only out. Let them be happy that they played. You've got. I tell you this all the time. You've got your choice on how you want to look at things. You want to be miserable, or you want to be positive. You can look at it as only, or you can look at it as wow, they got to play that many games. And I've told you a long time ago, man, I'm done with the negative, and I'm going to look positive, because the reality is they were playing nothing. The reality, and you can tell me all about what they did around the country, and that's fine. You're right. But living in New Mexico, we were playing nothing. We were the only state in the union where our college teams couldn't play at home. Our high school, while you were watching kids playing Texas and Utah and Arizona and everywhere else, we had nothing. And so I'm gonna guess the people who are telling me that probably haven't witnessed the joy in these kids' faces. They haven't got to see the excitement, because you don't appreciate it, and we all realize this now, right? After the last 13 months, you don't appreciate things as much until you lose them, until you don't have them. We didn't have anything, and these kids, these student athletes, didn't have anything. So to play 12 games as a soccer season, to run 3 cross country meets, they had a damn season, and it's a big deal for them. And I encourage you, if you can't get to some of these indoor stuff. I know that the capacity is, I think, 0 for indoors still, but 25%. You can go watch, something outside. You can see a soccer match. Watch it on ProView. The joy is real. This is genuine, and I'm just so happy for these kids. And like I said, man, being able to witness it firsthand obviously helped me get such a better perspective. But you've been out there and you've seen it. Basketball games are empty, right? When you're doing games in these gyms now, they're empty. The parents have to watch them.
Yeah, in our county, they're empty. Yes.
Until we turn green, is that right? And then you can go.
Green is when you can get
25%. All right. So right now we're still at yellow as of the other day. All right. Where are we on state soccer? Are we done now? Or we got games?
Oh,
today?
We're not done. They just 4A, 5A state title.
Look at Aaron's just shaking. Look at Aaron just going hell.
And by the way, one thing I want to add to there, Jeff, to that your comment, you know it firsthand, having an athlete in your household as well. I was talking with a coach about it, and she mentioned to me that she's like, you know what? Who's handling this better than anyone has actually been the kids. She's like, they've been super adaptable. As we've all sat here, all of us, the adults in the room, pointing out all the barriers and complaining, setting it up. And she said the kids have just been there. While they might have been frustrated and upset, the heads up, positive, shown up, and when that opportunity arises, they were ready to go.
Yeah, no, there's absolutely no doubt. I mean, the parents, the coaches are struggling with it, right? But to your point, the kids have just rolled with the punches so well. Look, there's been frustration now. Any one of you who's got a student athlete will know that. All right, Dan, thanks for holding. Didn't mean to hold you through that whole jugger babble. But, what's up, Dan? How you living?
Tried to get me to hang up, but I hung in there, Jeff.
No, you want me? I'm not going to lie to you. Bobcat told me during the break you were there, and doing these remote when the light's not flashing right in front of me, sometimes I forget, and I go off on talking about Coleman Vision or something, and I forgot. I'm not going to lie to you. I forgot you were there, and then I just remembered.
You're the best at the segue, too, from conversation to commercial. So I'll give you the kudos on that, brother.
I went to school for that.
You graduated from Segway school?
That's right. I got Segway school. I got a master's in Segway. Yeah.
You're right. Hey, so, I will be taking the cobwebs off the clubs this weekend.
Attaboy.
I got to dig ditches on Saturday. Tradition in New Mexico, you got to clean the ditches for irrigation.
Yeah.
And then on Sunday, going to go out and try and hit some little white balls, and that should prove to be fun. Now, do you mind if I give an amateur tip, like we get the pro tips every once in a while?
I give them all the time. What do you got?
Okay, well, so what I've learned is when I get stuck in the sand trap, how many times have you tried to face that ball and all you do is hit it, hits the ledge, and comes right back at you?
Often.
I was golfing with an older gentleman that had one of those little carts that follows him, Mm-hmm. His bag is on there, and he's got a little remote control, and it just follows behind him down the course. I don't know if you guys have seen the old guys using those, but
young guys use them too. He gave me a little
tidbit that he calls it the dollar bill. And if you picture a dollar bill laying right behind your ball and you're in the sand trap, take a dollar bill's distance of sand, get up underneath your ball, and follow through very dramatically to lift that ball up. I used to hit it and face it all the time, and I'd smack it right into the ledge, and I'd be there 2-3 strokes out of the trap. Once he taught me this dollar bill, a little bit of sand, a dollar bill's distance behind the ball, follow through. Man, I'm out of the trap. You might not drop it in the hole, but at least you're out of the trap and onto the green.
Right, you're putting.
So
and it works on the green side.
Tip for Friday.
It works on the green side. Works on the green side bunkers. And who needs Matt Malloy, man? And who needs Nick Nee? We got Dan. A dollar bill seems like a big
everybody
a bunch
get out
to me.
there and have some fun this weekend. It's going to be beautiful, and trim the trees and get the pots ready to put some flowers in there.
All right, man. Hit them straight and enjoy it out there.
Thanks, man. Jeff, be safe. Okay.
Yep. Thanks, Dan. See you.
Yep.
The trap drives me nuts still. After all these years, I'm still, and every once in a while, I hit a really good sand shot and say, why can't I do that? It'll kill me at times. But yeah, dollar bill. People always tell you 2 inches behind the ball and let the sand bring it out. But you got to open your stance and open that club up and let that club work and hit behind it and let the sand take the ball out. I'm going to run that tip by Nick when we're there. We had Dan come in trying to take your job. Give you the dollar bill trick.
Yeah, there's so many things in golf that you gotta kind of adjust out of your mind, like not hitting the ball, hitting a dollar bill length behind it to get it to go where you want to go.
Yeah, that's where we are. All right, when we come back, I'll update you on the leaderboard. It's not going to change much, I don't think, at the top. Because the majority of your leaders, they're going to go out in the afternoon. Justin Rose is going to go out this morning, but after that, Matsuyama, Harmon, Mackenzie Hughes is out making a move this morning. He's -2. I'll update you when we get back. I want to get you some TV numbers from the Gonzaga-Baylor game and what it meant to have nothing east of the Mississippi. Thank goodness, for the first time in the history of the NCAA tournament. So we'll get all that for you when we get back. Keep them coming at 505-246-0610.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard.
Where you're going to work out can be overwhelming, and when you're busy, it can lead you to not working out at all. F45 Functional Training changes that by giving you high-intensity training in a 45-minute class. Take control of your fitness now and check out F45training.com. Download the F45 app. The app has the week's schedule of classes, which workout you'll be doing. And with classes 7 days a week, you're going to be able to find a time that works for you and face a new challenge every day. I'm calling games throughout the week. I'm on full-on dad mode with your 2-year-old until mom gets home. It's busy for me Monday through Friday. The weekend classes, yes, Saturday and Sunday mornings, they're clutch for me. And F45 Training has certified trainers at every class to help motivate you and modify exercises if needed. The atmosphere is great, and with no wasted time in the 45-minute session, your full focus will be on getting the best out of the workout that you can in a manageable time frame. Check them out at f45training.com. Download the F45 app to sign up for your free 7-day trial. Get in the gym and check it out yourself. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Art Sandoval in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Next in line. Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Meet Greg Shamus. He's a State Farm agent, which means he's here to help with all this. But it's easier to just remember he's here to help life go right.
Call State Farm agent Greg Shamus at 505-898-3648 today.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to NewMexicoHighlands.com today.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
All right, I got NBA to talk to you about. I got numbers for you from the NCAA tournament. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. Come on in today. 505-246-0610. Your emails are coming to me. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Masters leaderboard, Justin Rose will go off later this morning. He had an unbelievable round yesterday. 65, 7 under par, 4 strokes clear of everybody else. Hideki Matsuyama and Brian Harmon at -3. And guys making a little bit of a move this morning, and you got some guys on the golf course. Mackenzie Hughes just dropped the stroke on number 4, so he's at -1. Terrell Hatton had a nice run yesterday, another Englishman. And then your top American is Harmon and Webb Simpson. Harmon at -3 and Webb Simpson at -2. And then just other names to watch. Will Zalatoris had a good day. Did you catch Jordan Spieth's day at all? He ends up at -1. Missed some easy. I sit here and say it's so easy to make a putt when I'm sitting on my ass. You know what I'm saying? But I mean,
100%. These athletes are bums. I don't know what they're doing in all these games.
Like I said, putts that if you're out at the club, your buddy's probably giving them to you. Maybe they're in the leather or just outside the leather. And it made. So did you see? I want to say it was on 13. The par, which is the par 5 over the water, where they got that approach shot, where they got to land it just over the Race Creek. Is it 14? Where he landed it about pin high and it rolled to the back, and then he chipped in for that eagle. And if it didn't hit the flag, it was going back into Race Creek. But so you say, how do they make shots like that? And then he's got a foot and a half, and he misses it. And that's that game, and that's how tough that is. But that's where they are. So I'll keep you up to date. I don't know if you saw any of the TV numbers on the NCAA tournament. Did you see anything?
I have not seen the TV numbers yet.
All right. It was, gosh, it feels like just the other day, and I guess it was. Monday, 16.9 million viewers, according to CBS, watched Gonzaga and Baylor. So what does that mean? It was lopsided, and look, when games get away, people turn away, right? It was like watching. If you watch on Saturday night, we all sat there for almost 3 hours and watched Gonzaga and UCLA because that game was riveting. But how many of you watched the second half of Baylor and Houston? Because I sure as heck did not. Right? That's when I went out and got the pizza and the salad for Addie and her gaggle of buddies that were at the house. But that was down 14% from 2019. Now the Final Four had an average of 14.9 million viewers for Gonzaga, UCLA, and Baylor. Yeah, there's your numbers. I mean, it was almost double. Almost. So they were at about 15 million for the Gonzaga UCLA game. The Houston Baylor game, 8.1 million. Now, I don't know what that means regionally. I don't know what that tells you, because there were no East Coast teams. There was nothing east of the Mississippi, where again, the population numbers on the East Coast are so big. Where would you say your breadbasket is in our country for college basketball, right? If you say college football, where's your breadbasket? Where's your passion? You say obviously it's the Southeast, right? It's the Southeastern. And now we all love the game, but where's your passionate fan base? Where do you have to circle for college basketball? Would you say it's the Upper Midwest this year?
Well, this year I think you could give it to Big Ten territory, but I've never thought about college basketball in that respect, and we do have that idea of SEC football for, that's where you'd get a lot from. And I've never really thought about where that would come from for the college game on the hardwood, but I would say the Big Ten. And here's the thing. When we talk about television numbers, people love to jump on anything that says down X percent and then start complaining and point to, say, hey, this is why my narrative about X sport matters. It still ranks as the most watched thing on television over the weekend, like overall.
All right.
So
yeah, you can save your whole. I told you nobody's watching anymore. Let me. This is what I tell you about everything else. You cannot go up every year. I don't care if it's your business, my business, your batting average, your handicap, your television numbers, your bottom line. Like at some point things fluctuate, and when Disney says, well, their profits are down 6% this year. That doesn't mean they lost 6% of their money. That means they just made 6% less than they made the year before. They still made a bunch of money. When somebody says, well, their viewership is down 14%, there were still, what was the number I gave you? 16 million, 14.9 million, whatever the number was. People are still, it's still a lot. You can't. While we all budget to go up, every one of us who works for a company and is responsible for any sort of revenue, while we all budget or have budgeted for us an increase of X percent, at some point, if you say, gosh, we only went up 1% or we were down 3%, that's down 3% from what you made last year. So I always caution you to ease with your as you just said, your narrative to tell me why nobody cares anymore. When the NBA numbers are down. See, Jeff, I told you, nobody gives a damn. They kneel for the anthem. Well, no, the numbers might be down, but did you look at what the numbers are? The NFL numbers, you always tell me, nobody cares. I'm not watching anymore. Damn athletes, they kneel for the anthem. Yeah, but did you realize it's still the most watched television program on over-the-air television? The Sunday night game on NBC. JJ, every year, right? It's like the highest rated, that and Monday Night Football are the highest rated cable and over-the-air television programs on a regular basis.
Live sports does very well on television. Sports still matter.
Yeah, people, and you all still, and it's always the people who tell me they're not watching are the ones who tell me about how nobody's watching. Does that make sense to you? I told you to.
Yes.
I don't watch the damn thing, but you care. I don't care. Yeah, you kind of do, actually. You kind of do because you just took the time to tell me. And again, I'll go back to I got a lot of mantras, don't I? A lot of things I say a lot. I don't
put it on the wall.
I just don't care what you're not doing any more than you don't care what I'm not doing. I'm not going to the game. Okay, knock yourself out, man.
Enjoy the rest of your day,
or,
right?
Yeah, surf your couch. I don't care what it is you're not doing any more than you don't care what I'm not doing. So knock yourself out. Dan's going to dig ditches on a golf course, as he calls it. Knock the ear. Oh, look at I got a stream of the Masters. I didn't even realize I could sit. I guess I should have realized that. They get me that. All right. Suns Clippers last night, 113-103. Paul George says we're going to let them talk. Let them do all the talking we want, and then we'll go out. Did you? I did not catch this. Did you catch any? And I'm going to guess you didn't while you were out. Look at Brand Wiesberger. 3 birdies out of the first 4 holes.
Wiesberger.
Did you catch any of that? Because maybe the Suns needed to.
You know the answer to that question, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Of course you
catch some of the Suns, the Clippers. You're a guy. I got you covered. But if you're not watching, I'm probably watching it. So I am here for you. This Clippers team it's fascinating because for a lot of us, it's going to be hard to get that 3-1 loss to the Nuggets out of our heads going in the postseason. Like, that was the worst Kawhi Leonard we have seen in the postseason, I think, ever. Right. Paul George has that playoff narrative that he's not showing up. So that always lingers in your head, but you're trying to address, all right, what is this team this year? Well, so far, you got Kawhi Leonard playing night in and night out. You got Paul George stepping up in a big way. So they're hitting their stride in the regular season, unlike they were able to do last year, because that was a team, and we can go back to it, that had terrible load management problems, and it never got into a rhythm. It feels like they have addressed that. Guess who's playing night in and night out? That is one Kawhi Leonard. He's got to be on the floor constantly. I like the direction they're going because to balance playoff P, a.k.a. Paul George, well, you bring in playoff Rondo. He's on the roster. So you got a pesky backcourt, guys that are frustrating to play against in Rondo and Patrick Beverly. Paul George, Kawhi Leonard, you get it. The supporting cast is still very solid, but it comes down to the superstars. And those guys have to show up, and it's going to be tough to push that narrative out of your head, how bad they were in that Nuggets series, how bad Kawhi Leonard was in Game 7. But I think this year they're going to live up to the hype in the postseason.
And Aaron, thanks for getting that score up. And if you're watching on the ProView side, you see the number 113-103. I think all that's right. All that's right. So I'm probably going to get some Washington Wizards love this week. Get my education on that great basketball team. I didn't. You know what I watched last night? I thought of you because we're watching. Will, what was I watching? My 2-year-old niece? You understand now. There could be a room full of adults, but you got a 2-year-old like you do, and you're watching 2-year-old programming now. And so we were singing 2-year-old song. Coco what? Coco Melon.
Oh, Coco Melon. Okay.
Yeah, you know.
No, we
Coco
haven't
Melon.
watched a lot of Coco Melon yet. We've been keeping it simple. A lot of Disney Junior, Nick Jr., so Paw Patrol, Tots, things along those lines. That's your go-to. You're like, oh my gosh, I need 30 minutes. Pull up cartoons. Peace out.
It's amazing too, man. I forgot. Now you progress. Now that Addie's 14 and almost 15 and away from that stuff, you forget how a child who no, and boom, you turn that on and ding, and the head turns and it's like affixed to that whole
this
thing.
Dude,
yeah.
like his word he says clearest is cartoons. He'll walk up to him with the remote control and be like, cartoons. Let's go outside for a little bit.
Mama, Daddy, no, I got cartoons.
Cartoons.
Well,
oh, geez. And handing the remote, I get it.
He's got a future in animation. Maybe that's what he's telling you. Who knows? It's good. All right, Trevor Bauer's got an issue maybe, I don't know if he's got an issue with Major League Baseball, but they may have an issue with him. We're going to get there. Nick's going to join us at 9 o'clock. We'll go over the Masters with him, get you a golf tip to get you started on your golf season. Gwen Maley, Maley, right? Maley?
Mal. So think Al.
All right, I will from now on. Glenn Malley, Lobo Soccer coming up at 9:30 this morning. And if you want to get in, 505-246-0610. Gentlemen, here comes the weekend. How you feeling? Hopefully you are feeling great. But let me give you a few truths as you go through your week. As men age, things like fatigue, low T, hair loss are all natural, and there's a really good chance it's going to happen to you. Don't be embarrassed. It's natural. But here's the beauty of it. There's something you can do to battle nature and feel like you again if you're experiencing these things. You're regularly tired, maybe carrying a few extra pounds, or you're dealing with erectile dysfunction. I suggest you call NuMale. NuMale has led the way in helping men deal with these issues for years. Their testosterone replacement utilizes the latest cutting-edge technology, and men all over the country benefit from their technology, and they feel better. The number is 505-652-1688, or visit NuMale. That's NUMALE.com. Fellas, NuMale is convenient. They're right here in Albuquerque, and the process is comfortable. It starts with your phone call all the way through the treatment. NuMale guides you through the process. And the beauty of this whole thing is the results are absolutely real. 505-652-1688 is the number. Don't put it off. Take care of you. NuMale.com, or call 505-652-1688 and feel better.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Ashley Duran in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Crisp and they look good. Here's Wade in transition.
Hey!
Gonna flush it home.
Well, for a 2021 Bowl Series here at University Stadium. Short kickoff. Fielded about the 20.
Oh,
Gonzalez got a big gap up the middle,
Big
one man
gap.
to beat. Let's see, Beats Contreras.
He's got it.
Gonzalez will return it 80 yards for a touchdown. And it was just a matter of time before he found a crease.
It's a privilege, you know, it's not a right. And I think these kids have found that out.
Wait, this on the quarterback
He's
option.
gonna have it.
We'll break it up the middle for a touchdown.
Good job.
36-yard touchdown run by Juan Fuentes. Following.
Oliveras to fake the drive inside, trying to turn it around, draws contact, puts it up, count it, and one opportunity upcoming for Oliveras.
Yeah, there.
Back to pass, getting some pressure.
Oh, wide
Wait,
open.
Great House might go 50, 45, 40, 30. One man to beats, fine, no. Breaks out of that tackle. Tight ropes the sideline. Touchdown. Touchdown for Peyton Grayhouse.
Nope.
On a turnover again, Hodnett, they got numbers. Canton. Oh, and the throwdown. Cut off. Ortiz going to take the deep three. Ortiz nails the three-point shot. Time out. Volcano Vista Cougars take a 49-47 lead. 3.3 seconds left.
Just like that. You're at the 1 yard line.
Looking over the middle. Intercepted. It's intercepted. And going down the left sideline, might take it to a house call. One man to beat, cuts it back inside at the 5. 10, one man to beat again. Cuts it back at the 5, touchdown. Interception in the return.
Who was that?
By number 8, Isaac Henson, who's already scored an offensive touchdown.
11-4 game, 4.9 seconds to go in the first quarter. Bring up the court, Mays going inside, drawing contact, and one opportunity.
An attack. Oh, that's a great inbound play. Mato puts it up, blocked beautifully by Heckrop. Blocked beautifully. Shot at the buzzer's up, and it's good. It's good by number 5, Devin Domino Lovato for 3. That will count.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, maybe Augusta's a little more gettable today from some of the early scores. Burned the Wiesberger. It's 4 under after 5 holes already today. It's got him to 2 under, but they're all chasing Justin Rose, who's going to tee off here shortly. -7. Wiesberger is up to -2, as is Mark Leishman and Jason Kokrak. Those are the guys making a move this morning. Mackenzie Hughes is to -1, but you got 15 guys out of the whole field who are under par. Robert McIntyre's -1 today. Molinari -1 today, but that puts him at +1. Did you look at the bottom of the list? Any of the guys that jump out to you at the bottom of the list? Lee Westwood shooting +6 surprised me. Obviously, Kuchar at +6. Kuchar's been playing really well. I didn't expect him to win, but I expect him to be top 20.
Yeah, and unfortunately, one of your team members, Patrick Cantlay, +7.
Yeah, I got
so
that.
I know you probably had to have a long conversation with him yesterday when he came into the clubhouse.
Yeah, I got to buy you guys lunch is what this is going to come down to. All right, Wayne, good morning. You may need to pay me like $800,000 for like a coach.
Hey, good morning. Thank you for taking my call. I just wanted to let you know that I was a little concerned by the story in the paper about Richard Pitino's contract not being finalized, and I was just wondering if you guys could give me your thoughts about that.
So I'm not going to lie to you. I didn't see it. JJ, did you see the story?
Well, the final contract isn't signed. The term sheet is signed, but it sounds like it's just legal stuff between legal people ironing out the final details of a contract.
Yeah, so Wayne, what's your concern?
Well, the concern is that there are 2 notable things that buyout, if the terms of the contract are not met, apparently have not been, they haven't come to terms on that, and also there is a door open regarding additional bonuses and additional monies in addition to the $5 million over the 6 years.
Yeah, I promise you there'll be bonuses. I mean, whether they're academic bonuses, whether there is going to be winning league championships, whether it's going to be Coach of the Year bonuses, getting to the NCAA, there'll be bonuses at every level. If he wins 1 game, 2 games, 4 games at the NCAA tournament, I promise you there will be bonuses built into that.
Well, okay, I'm just going to watch this story just because you know, the devil is in the details, and I'm hoping there's nothing that's not appropriate for the job.
Yeah, no, fair enough. All right, Wayne, no, thank you. JJ, I hadn't seen that. I don't know that this is horribly uncommon. The term sheet, to your point, has been signed. So he said the two issues are the buyout. Is that correct?
Well, I think when you look at it, what wasn't included in the term sheet that's been out there in the public was information about buyouts, either owed to UNM if Pitino chooses to leave the job, of course, if the contract is terminated, and there are no details about bonuses or incentive pay, but I think that is just what they're doing right now, is going through the contract, trying to finalize those numbers, because Richard Pitino is a coach in New Mexico. He's doing Lobo coach things. So I wouldn't be worried about any of that. It's just this is the stuff behind the scenes, as you mentioned, all the details that you need to iron out to have a multi-million-dollar contract put in stone.
Yeah, and if you're concerned, I think is what he said, that there's going to be bonuses on top of the $5 million. What is it, $5 million over 6 years? Is that what the number is, ish? I guess I would sit here and promise you that there will be bonuses. And if that concerns you, then let me validate your concerns. There absolutely will be bonuses, and that's how that is. There's going to be buyout. It'll be a de-escalating buyout, right? If he leaves after this year, it'll be a high number and it'll drop. Very industry standard, JJ, will be the remaining base pay on the contract. So typically, and I'm playing with numbers because I don't have them in front of me. If let's say salary's $800,000, the base salary is probably $3 million. Some of it's media rights, some of it's shoe money, some of whatever it is. But that's where you were. When Paul got bought out, they owed him, what was the number, JJ? $500,000. They knocked it down to $245,000 a year, whatever it is. It's like you have a contract, your job, and they tell you, we don't need your services anymore. You're going to tell them to buy you out for the rest of the agreement. You have an agreement. You have a legal agreement. If you leave, you're going to have to settle with them. I guess. But there will be bonuses. Eric Musselman jumped on a table when he got to the Sweet 16 because he probably got a nice bonus at Arkansas, right?
He's like, yeah, I'm excited we won, but how about my contract?
That's right. I'm getting paid. No, that's right. When Bradbury didn't win Coach of the Year, probably cost him $10,000 or something along those lines, right? I mean, I could hear the frustration in Wayne's voice, and you and I. Well, I don't know. Do people get bonuses? People do, right? People in your job, you hit certain thresholds. I mean, now look, I get it. It's all relative, right. But I mean, in many jobs,
the bonus is just being there with you along the way.
Oh, isn't that cute? Isn't that it's so sweet? It's just so nice. All right, 505-246-0610. If you want to come in where Wayne did, you can. 246-0610. And I get it. Wayne is really concerned about the money, and I'm not telling you he shouldn't be. Wayne is the gentleman who said we should hire. I gave you a list of 5 high school coaches and shouldn't pay more than $150,000.
Music, 1 minute out.
You knew that's not where this was going. I understand his concern, and that would be his philosophy. I think Wayne is in the minority because I've heard nobody else give us that same opinion. I'm not telling you he's the only one, but I do believe he's in the minority on that. Bob told me during the break, you get what you pay for. Well, you would argue last year, well, you certainly didn't. That's why they made a change, right? All right, when we get back, you said there was some interesting radio yesterday, huh?
30.
There was.
You had Lobo Talk with men's and women's basketball coaches as well as football. Unity at the University of New Mexico. It's the opening drive. We're on ProView Networks. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck on 95.9 FM at AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Are you
you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your
show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with two-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Siembieda, and JJ Bond.
Look at Justin Rose coming back to the field. JJ, bogey number 1. See? Here he comes. He's still 3 clear of everybody at the Masters. 6 under par. Mark Leishman's making a big move today. He's 3 under after 3 and at -3 for the tournament. Bernd Weisberger also making a move today. He's at 2 under. Opening drive, Jeff and JJ. Glad you're with us on this beautiful Friday. Is it beautiful there? 505-246.
It is beautiful. It's a beautiful day in the 505. I do not know the area code you're in today.
I don't know the area code I'm in either. What area code am I in? I don't even know. To be honest.
But it looks great. It looks like we're getting you live on your... I'm Jeff Siembieda out here in the jungle.
That's right. Yeah, out in the jungle. The palm trees. The sun's going to come up over those palm trees here soon and start torching my bald head, but that's good. You can get in at 246-0610. Emails this morning coming in. Jeff at sportsanimalabq.com and JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. All right, the transfer portals, and we talk a lot about the transfer portal, right? The transfer portal is, what are we up to, like 1,100 plus players in college basketball's transfer portal? And so this is one of those Al Davis moments. Deal with it. Jamarcus Russell's a great player. Deal with it. I don't care if you like the transfer portal or not. It's part of college basketball, and if you're going to watch college basketball, you're going to have to get used to it. Global roster is going to turn over again, and so Jeff Borzello is reporting that they're in on a pretty they're at least interested in.
They sent a text message. They're like, "Will you view this message?" But yeah, the transfer portal is absolutely crazy. The extra year, what we're seeing, players' eligibility. This is going to take 2 years to settle down. Like, it's not going away, but the next 2 years, roster is going to be crazy because even high school players are probably sitting there like going, what do we do now? So yes, it's going to be insanity, at least the next 2 years with rosters. But we really saw the first name associated with Richard Pitino and the University of New Mexico, player that they've actually reached out to, and it's UNLV transfer Bryce Hamilton. He averaged 17.9 points per game, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, second team All Mountain West guard. reports are that New Mexico is showing interest and was trying to reach out to Bryce Hamilton, along with Kansas, USC, Oregon, Texas, UConn, Illinois, Texas Tech, and Florida State.
Say those again.
I think he's
Kansas,
leaving the Mountain
Illinois.
West.
So he's leaving UNLV. New Mexico's interested, but so is, who'd you just tell me? Kansas, USC, Oregon, Texas Tech, Illinois. Any other
UConn, and Florida
Sweet 16 teams I forgot? I mean, look, that doesn't mean he's not coming. That sure doesn't mean he is. Who did I see yesterday? And I was scrolling through the Twitter, and I didn't know who it was because I couldn't tell from the Twitter handle. I saw a recruit decommit from UNM basketball, basically saying, coaching change, wish you well, knock yourself out, and move on.
I'm sure someone out there can help us out with that one.
Yeah, I know it's going to happen.
Exactly.
I did see the offensive lineman, Jack Buford. We're talking football now as I switch over and you're talking transfers. So Danny Gonzalez the other day told us he was looking for a offensive lineman. And I don't remember if he said graduate transfer. This is not a graduate transfer. This is an offensive lineman that started at Missouri. He was a 4-star recruit, according to ESPN, out of high school. And you got a receiver from Missouri who's transferred to New Mexico, and now it looks like you're going to have an offensive lineman who, depending on the transfer rules, may be a starter this year. And that's why Danny was looking for, I think, a graduate transfer, somebody to play right away, since we still don't know what the transfer rules are going to be. And at some point, don't they have to let people know? Do you have to sit out a redshirt year or not? At some point, doesn't the NCAA have to rule on this? But anyway, getting a 4-star recruit to go on your offensive line is another big get for Danny.
Yes, and so the D1 Council is meeting next week, because with the NCAA, it's always next week. I'm just kidding. But
it is always next week.
We'll get to it next week. They are going to, I guess, vote and potentially finalize a one-time transfer waiver for 2021-2022 players, but you need to transfer by July 1st. So get that in. There'd be no waiting at that point in time.
So that would mean this year, right, for next school year, if you transfer by, and this would be in all sports, if you transfer by July 1, just for this year, the upcoming year, you would not have to sit out a redshirt year. You'd be immediately eligible at your new school.
Yes.
Okay. And that
is
but that hasn't
on
been
deck
passed.
for next
That's
week.
All right. That's next week of the NCAA. I'm going to guess if they're talking about that's where they're going, right?
And I do believe that's something I would like to see overall, but especially in this moment, I think it would just really help get players that last year of eligibility, get them where they need to go, and then you can start settling this down, because this is still a next year and the year after waning off of the extra year of eligibility, dealing with these extended rosters. Like, it's going to be tough, but this is, I think, would help a lot of coaches too. At least figure things out.
I think what would help him is knowing. So why does granting the immediate eligibility, I guess I'm struggling a little bit with it. Why does that help?
If you bring a guy in a roster, he has to sit a year. He's eligible. Right. That then pushes it off one more year, where you could potentially have that
Fair enough.
bubble.
All right, so let's clean it up.
Limit.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, so then let's clean it up right away. And if that's the case, so this Jack Buford, the offensive lineman, and again, he was a freshman last year. And he comes over. C.J. Boone was the wide receiver who transferred from Missouri. So you're getting 3 guys who can, from the SEC, who can immediately contribute. One of them an offensive lineman that you desperately need. One of them a playmaking wide receiver in C.J. Boone that you really need. And thirdly, what you needed more than anything was a quarterback. And in this case, with Terry Wilson from Kentucky, a quarterback who will be a super senior, who will be a 6th-year quarterback, a 23-year-old grown man who's a dad, who, by the way, won 10 games in the SEC, won 2 bowl games as a quarterback in the SEC, who is competing. And I somewhat say that tongue-in-cheek, but coming in to compete, and I think you and I and everybody else believes he's going to be your quarterback next year. You give me 3 guys on your offensive side who are playing in the SEC, plug them into that lineup. And you said this last week, Danny believes that they can win, and he'll tell you that they can compete for a championship. But whether you think they can compete for a championship in this league with Boise State next year, you might be a year away, but maybe not. But certainly compete for a bowl game to be bowl eligible. And the last time there was a bowl game, was it 5 seasons ago? That would be 5, right? You've had a 3-win, a 2-win, a 2-win, a 2-win season. To get back in Danny's second year, I think he's looking at. Right now, he feels that this team's good enough to compete. And again, I've told you take a look at their schedule, and you tell me you can't find at least 6 wins on there.
Yeah, as difficult as the last year and a half has been for athletics, there's been some pretty big benefits for a lot of schools and coaches, actually. And one of those is the quote-unquote super seniors for football, because I think year 2 was probably going to be more difficult than year 1 for the Lobos, just in terms of the amount of seniors that they were losing. We're talking about like 30, 31 players on the roster, but then you get to bring back 14 of those players on a team that all of a sudden last 2 games of the season, it really felt like, hey, they're getting it. They're competing. They're playing hard. They're on that path towards being that team no one wants to face, just giving yourself a chance in the fourth quarter. And then with the seniors returning, kind of getting that feel of his team, yeah, it feels like Danny Gonzalez is all of a sudden like, we might be a little bit closer to that 6-win mark, and you're jumping out there then in a transfer quarterback market to get a guy that can immediately impact this team.
Well, everybody else is in the same boat too, right? Now there's going to be super seniors all over your schedule, which is fine. Which is, I mean, you understand that. But I look at a schedule with non-conference games that include Houston Baptist, New Mexico State, UTEP, and Texas A&M. And I know you and every other Lobo fan out there feels that you can win 3 of those 4 games. And I know you all feel that you can pick off 3 or 4 conference victories. And all of a sudden, this turnaround feels really, really good to you under Danny Gonzalez and Rocky Long. And, look, I get it, where you were years ago, just qualifying, becoming eligible for a bowl game, might not have been the goal, but it's steps now. Before you know where you were. You know where this program was. It was bad. Somebody said to me the other day, and I don't know if this is right, and I don't know if we'll ever know the numbers. You were at this Cherry Silver game on Saturday. Were there more people at the Cherry Silver game than at Bob Davies' last home game?
It's unfortunately that could be possible. I might have been in studio. I don't remember what we were doing situation-wise at that point in time.
I know I was traveling. I was somewhere at another game that day, but I remember watching it on TV, and it was one of those just, dang. I mean, it looks like a spring scrimmage. The crowd did, and it was cold, and it was. But that's where I only tell you that for perspective.
Was that the Utah State game? Yeah, because I wasn't. I don't think I was in attendance. I was back in the studio doing the studio work. But yeah, I know it was very sparse.
Yeah, and I was traveling that day, and it was, it is what it is. And so steps. If you told Lobo fan when Danny Gonzalez was hired, 15 months ago, that you'd be competing, or if I just told you you'd be bowl eligible in year 2, every one of you would have taken it, right? Every one of you, where this program was. And I'm not telling you you're there yet, but I do believe, just watching what I saw on Saturday and looking at transfers that you're getting, you just got 3 SEC starters, players, quality football players, student athletes that are coming in that we're assuming, JJ, certainly 2 of the 3, and maybe all 3 of them are going to be eligible next year. And that's what you're right. Well, Jeff, everybody else get them. No, I got it. But you weren't getting them before. You weren't. And by the way, you finished the season beating 2 teams. Well, Jeff, they weren't very good. I mean, Wyoming and Fresno State. Have they been kicking you around the last couple of years? Like, you step by step. I don't care. Look, Wyoming actually had a pretty decent team. Fresno State won this league 3 years ago. Those are teams that have been kicking you. To climb to the top, you got to climb over the teams that have been beating you up for the last bunch of years. You're not going like San Jose. Well, maybe you are. San Jose State went worst to first pretty quick. They got an SEC quarterback, didn't they? They got a transfer out of the SEC, turned the thing around, and won that damn league. Yeah,
they had a little Starkle magic.
It's Starkle magic. Starkle a little magic on it, and that's it. 505-246-0610. We'll get into that Lobo talk last night. Danny and Richard Pitino together last night and what they had to say. On the opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck were on ProView Networks. and 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Right now,
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Art Sandoval in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Meet Greg Shamus. He's a State Farm agent, which means he's here to help with all this. But it's easier to just remember he's here to help life go right. Call State Farm agent Greg Shamus at 505-898-3648 today.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to NewMexicoHighlands.com today.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sport shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Ashley Duran in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor,
He said, so the last game of 2 years ago, football, Bob Davies' last game, he said attendance was 1,200. What did they announce it? Did you look at it? I'll look it up for you. 4,700 at the Cherry Silver game. So at least announced attendance was. And then he said, are you in the 305, the 321, the 813? I'm like, man, I just don't know. I don't know. Doesn't matter. Justin Rose, after bogeying number 1, made birdie on number 2. Two's a birdie hole. Two's a hole that the guys tell you got a birdie. So he's back up to 7 under par at the Masters and leading the way. Justin Rose is your leader. He's out early. It's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. All right, so you were telling me, and I did not hear this yesterday. Thank you, Aaron, for the leaderboard. Appreciate that. Aaron's on top of this, man. We've had 3 guys. It is new producer week, or the last 2 weeks. It was Alden and J. Pole and Josh for, how long have we been simulcasting the show? 3 years now? 2.5 years?
Yeah.
And they've
2
done
years.
great work getting it done, being remote. And then obviously Bob's on this week for us on the radio side, but Aaron's done a great job and appreciate what you're doing. And if you get a chance, it's a really good enhancement to take a look at what we're doing on the video side and all the stuff that they add to it. All right, you were listening to Lobo Talk yesterday. You said they had a Lobo Talk. Danny Gonzalez, the football coach, men's and women's basketball coach, Richard Patino, and Mike Bradbury all together with Rob. And actually, it sounds like that's pretty good stuff.
Well, of course, they're dropping or opening season ticket deposits, so it was also good timing as well to have all the coaches out there getting excited for next season. But at least they're all buying in to the message of unity as an athletic department, and they're playing the game well. It's coming across well. I think the fans are definitely buying into it themselves. There's some callers into the show last night that like, I don't know if I've ever seen this before at the University of New Mexico,
right,
or had this kind of synergy. And it's very rare, but it's what happens. We get a new coach, and there's hope. You haven't won any games, but yet there's this excitement that you're going to be able to get back to that level with Richard Patino. Of course, Danny Gonzalez, what he brings. And it was funny, there was a moment Mike Bradbury said that when he talked to Danny when he got the job, he was like, oh, yeah, that guy's just really excited to be here, get the job. And then he's like, wait, no, this is actually who he is. Like, this is straight on who he is. He considers everyone in the Lobo family just that family. And I think it's a good job. It's good marketing as well, as they're dropping all these season ticket deposits out there for all those sports. But for UNM to put all those coaches together, because it absolutely can be challenging within athletic department. You got dudes with big egos that are focused on their program, but to at least present that message of a unified front. Credit to Eddie and everyone in the athletic department for seeing that vision, and the coaches, at least right now, stepping up and playing that game.
Well, we're going to go back to a theme that I've mentioned so many times on this show, and it's when the head football coach and the head men's basketball coach, are good people. And I'm not telling you anybody wasn't before. That's not even where I'm going. But B, get along. It raises the entire athletic department. And I see and I hear so much of Rocky when Danny talks. Danny, when he says, "Now we're not a very good football team," and the guys, just even the cadence in his voice. If you, and this would be a really good TV project, to go back and pull some of Rocky's sound bites from when he got here in 97, right? 97, 98, 99. Those early Rocky years. And compare it to what Danny's saying and how he's saying it, the cadence in his voice. Like, I swear sometimes that I'm standing in front of him and Danny talks, and I hear so much of Rocky, which is a good thing, right? You tend to take on the traits of your mentors, and Danny worked for Rocky for so long. But so many of the things that he says and the way in which he says it sounds like Rocky Long. And I'm going to go back. I've told you the story before, and I know I'm going to tell it to you many more times, but it's one of those things that's just resonated with me over my career. When Jim Sturck, the then athletic director at San Diego State, we were in Phoenix at the league meetings, and he was telling me how Rocky Long and Steve Fisher, when they were both at San Diego State, that they're such good people and how they get along and how they care so much about the other sports, that they're at the women's volleyball game or they're at the soccer games or they're and it raised his whole department. And Danny gets it, man, and not just about his football program. It's about the University of New Mexico and him being from here and being an alum. The fact that Richard Pitino said that Danny was a part of the recruitment process to get Richard here, and to bring Bradbury into it, it just we learn from our mentors, and whether you like them or not, San Diego State has developed over. Would you say they're the best athletic program in the Mountain West over the last decade?
If yes, I think what specifically, like, are we focusing on just
Overall,
like men's basketball? Because I would say you can't discredit Boise State in that for overall athletic department in that conversation.
But after football, where's their consistency been?
Fair, but I think just brand wise too, they've done all right overall.
Well, brand wise because of football, but yeah. Okay. But my point being, it raises all the ships, and I don't care where you work. I don't care if you work in a bank, in a doctor's office, in whatever. The work environment's a big deal. If people are happy, if people get along, they're going to be more productive. It's really such simple business. And it feels like that's where this is trending. And maybe I'm reading too much into it, but I so firmly believe that. When you tell me a story like that, that's what I hear.
Yeah, and it's the perfect time to have this come together, coming off the challenging year it was. Fingers crossed that we're moving forward, and I believe by the time we get to the fall, even indoor sporting events, there's going to be capacity allowed at that point in time. So see the people excited to get out to football, men's basketball, of course, but then and I think Mike Bradbury too is stepping up a lot in this situation, because that's probably something you wouldn't have seen from him in the last few years. Or any of these coaches, is to be all together, doing a Lobo Talk live. They're streaming it online, so I think there's a lot of good things right now with this athletic department, trying to capture the energy, move forward, get Lobo fans excited about it again. And when you have all these coaches on the same page, your most high-profile coaches, and then they're bouncing around. And Danny was talking about, Robert brought it up, Danny managed to get out to the baseball's season opener this year in Arizona, and was like posting a photo like, hey, we're at the game supporting Lobo athletics. And that's a trickle-down effect, and that's what all these coaches bring to the table. And you just want to have that positivity, that energy pushing forward, because Richard Pitino said something last night, and it's a challenge. It's still hard to win in college athletics. It's the business, and you're recruiting young student athletes that need to be talented, but then also check the rest of the boxes to be a student athlete. He says, and of course he's a new coach, but he's like, UNM is a sleeping giant. He's like, UNM can be a school that's not just a basketball school, a football school. It can be a competitive school overall, and it absolutely has those traits. If you want to bring in Olympic sports, I know we're not going to spend hours talking about Olympic sports, etc., soccer, but they're playing at a high level. They're competitive. Everyone on campus knows that. And if you could present that unified message when you get kids on campus for recruiting, you're like, hey, let's look at this. Oh, our national championship cross-country program, or our division-winning soccer program. It just builds that mentality into what you were talking about, an overall athletic department. And I think New Mexico is going in a great direction right now. But then it's back to what you say all the time, Jeff. Like, oh, congratulations, you got the job. Now you got to go to work.
Well, you got to go to work. and I've thought this a lot. And maybe I've just got a higher opinion of what the ceiling on New Mexico can be. What don't they have? Money. Okay? And so many conversations start and end there, right? What doesn't? Why can't UNM be this and this? They've got decent facilities. I'm not going to tell you the best facilities in the world, but I've been to most facilities in the Mountain West Conference. Football stadium needs work, but other than that, their athletic facilities, they're comparable. They're better than some, as good as most. Football stadium, as far as press box and some of the fan amenities, but for the student athletes, the locker room's good. The weight room's going to be great. The new facility they're building, it's money. You've got, I think, an attractive destination to train. Weather's great, centrally located, can get there. I mean, we've got some issues to deal with as a city, but to Richard Pitino's point, why can't it be? Pick your school, pick your place. Why should Colorado State be considered this, or San Diego State be considered that, and not UNM? UNM should be competitive.
Absolutely, I agree. I think the D1 teams in the state of New Mexico have a lot of things in their specific conferences that they can be successful at. And right now for UNM in the Mountain West, they're very attainable goals. And the athletic department, at least, is in a good direction. There's a lot of energy in this community. I think Lobo fans will definitely be excited for next year.
All right, I'm going to get you some emails when we get back. Nestor was the guy. Dichok Nestor was the Lobo recruit who decommitted that I was telling you about. So I'll get you that when we come back, and I'll get you some more of those emails. 246-0610 is how to get in. 888-922-0610. You can join the show and send emails. Jeff at sportsanimалabq.com. JJ at sportsanimалabq.com. Who's watching your home when you're not there? Hope it's the good guys and not the bad guys. Maybe you signed up for a home or business security with a local company who promised you an armed response, and that security has now been sold and bought twice. Your security is in the hands of a company from Texas. That's not what you signed up for. Make the switch to IPS, International Protective Service. Aaron Jones owns IPS. He's from Albuquerque, and he's not going anywhere. He's passionate, and he's committed to providing protection for your home and family business. You worked really hard to build it. Now let them work really hard to protect it. IPS has highly trained armed guards. They watch what's important to you when you can't be there. 24-hour patrols, armed officers that usually respond to your alarm when it goes off within 5 to 7 minutes. Trust your protection to a local company who is passionate about making our city safer to live and work. They watch my home when I'm gone. They watch your business. They make sure the bad guys don't take what's yours. 505-897-2420 is the number. 505-897-2420, or visit them at ipsglobal.com.
Out crisp and they look good. Here's Wade in transition.
Hey!
Gonna flush it home.
Well, for a 2021 Bowl Series here at University Stadium. Short kickoff. Fielded about the 20.
Oh,
Gonzalez got
yeah.
A big gap up the middle,
Big
one man
gap.
to beat. Let's see, Beats Contreras.
He's got it.
Gonzalez will return it 80 yards for a touchdown. And it was just a matter of time before he found a crease.
It's a privilege, you know, it's not a right. And I think these kids have found that out.
Witness on the quarterback
He's
option.
gonna have it.
We'll break it up the middle for a touchdown.
Good job.
36-yard touchdown run by Juan Fuentes. Following.
Oliveris fakes the drive inside, trying to turn it around, draws contact, puts it up, count it, and what opportunity upcoming for Oliveris.
Yeah, there.
Makes us back to pass, getting some pressure.
Oh, wide
Link to
open.
Great House, Mike go 50, 45, 40, 30, one man to beats, fine, no, breaks out of that tackle, tight ropes the sideline, touchdown. Touchdown for Peyton Grayhouse.
No.
On a turnover again, Hodnett, they got numbers. Canton. Oh, and the throwdown. Cut off. Ortiz going to take the deep three. Ortiz nails the three-point shot. Time out. Volcano Vista Cougars take a 49-47 lead. 3.3 seconds left.
Just like that. You're at the 1 yard line. Got
looking over the middle. Intercepted. It's intercepted. And going down the left sideline, might take it to a house call. One man to beat, cuts it back inside at the 5. 10, one man to beat again. Cuts it back at the 5, touchdown. Interception in the return.
Who was that?
By number 8, Isaac Hinson, who's already scored an offensive touchdown.
11-4 game, 4.9 seconds to go in the first quarter. Bring up the court. Mays going inside, drawing contact, and one opportunity.
An attack. Oh, that's a great in-down play. Lavato puts it up. Blocked beautifully by Heckrop. Blocked beautifully. Shot at the buzzer's up, and it's good. It's good by number 5, Devin Domino Lovato for 3. That will count.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, back by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters! It's like it never happened!
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
The sports animal.
Should I wake up the neighbors? Everybody's up by now, right? What is it, 10 o'clock? 10:30? Oh, give me a hoe. Ready? See, when you train at altitude and you come down to sea level, you got lung power, lung capacity. See what happens? Come down.
A long time ago.
Does that make it Friday now? Does it feel like Friday yet?
It's Friday.
Feel like Friday to you? All right, Justin Rose still leading -7. Bernd Wiesberger has made a move today, as has Mark Leishman, the Australian. Both of those guys at -3, along with Matsuyama and Harmon, who will tee off later. But those are the big moves this morning. Rose bogeyed 1 and birdied at 2, and so that is your leader at the Masters. Got an email from Deutsch, JJ. They come in at jeff@sportsanimalabq.com. JJ at sportsanimalabq.com. He said Lobo football, or he said 3 out of 4 question mark. Lobo football is going to beat Houston Baptist. He said, did you see anything from Fearless Dougie's guys in those 2 practices that leads you to believe that they're going to win a game in 2021? Lobo football might get blued out of the Bill to College Station by Fitty, but I believe the key game is on the 25th of September in beautiful El Paso, Texas. How many winnable games did Lobo football have like that under Rocky, under Davey, where they crapped all over themselves? Remember Rutgers. It's from Deutsch. So, yeah, they've lost games that along the way they should have won or maybe could have won. Or I say winnable games. I mean, who the hell is New Mexico to say we should have won anything, right? I always tell you, I mean, New Mexico football, show me they should have won. Yeah, there's games. The Rutgers game, you can't sit here and tell me they should have won. Jeff, that was a terrible Rutgers team. Yeah, but that was still a Big Ten team you went to play. You were up, was it 21-0 when they lost the game?
Yeah, special teams really changed the tide of that contest.
I remember a game in El Paso. The year John Sullivan was an All-America, they opened up, and it's funny to listen to Rocky, and I've told you, and Sully have these stories. Sully missed 2 field goals down in El Paso. They lost the opener 10-7. But I think they won nine games that year. So, I don't know. You look at it. Don't you say for Lobo football, can you win 3 out of 4? Absolutely, you can win 3 out of 4.
Yes, in a non-conference, absolutely.
Lobo Hobo says, where in the heck are you, Jeff? Where are you this morning, Jeffy? And why do you look/sound so much better on the ProView than JJ?
Well,
does it look like that's like a green screen behind me, like one of those fake backgrounds?
It does. You got much better. You got natural lighting, so that's a big difference. You're outside.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you see the sun coming up over the trees now, and starting to shine off my bald head? Yeah.
That is a beautiful picture.
Yeah, it feels kind of nice. I think where am I? I don't even know what the area code is. I know I'm 2 blocks off the beach, and it's beautiful. I don't even honestly don't know what the area code is. All right, this one's on Transfer Portal. It's from John. He says, "Well, guys, there's several ways you can look at this issue, but I'm going to say these guys transferring 2 and 3 times would seem to spell trouble for any program taking them in. I read yesterday where someone quotes that the most common excuse/reason was they want to go where the ball will be in their hands more. Everyone thinks they're the show, but in reality it takes a team effort for role players to be successful. Today's generation don't seem to be willing to buy into the team effort and bide their time and run when adversity dictates, working harder and earning your spot. Just my opinion and thoughts. One of the comments during the Loyola game was, these guys will pass the ball to the open guy or unselfish in their play. Thank you. I don't know, man. Everybody wants a situation where they can thrive, right? Everybody wants a situation where they're going to get the ball. Does it make him selfish if you don't feel? And they all want it now, right? That's where people are struggling with it.
Yes, I agree to his concept about team. Of course, that's what's going to win. And when you're playing winning basketball, all that stuff becomes easier to do. But you do have to have a buy-in. All the sports cliches are there for a reason. When we're talking about team, character, whatever you want to address in that regard. I think there's challenges with it. And some players don't handle it well. But every transfer is not just because they want the basketball more. Some are. Some think it's going to be better on the other side. Some think they're going to go to a program and somehow be scoring 20 points per game and be an all-conference player. And it doesn't quite work that way because you have to buy in to so many more things. And that's what is challenging having this conversation, because some people think that's all a transfer is. Like, it's just a selfish kid that can't handle adversity. And that's not the case at all. There's different stories across the board for every one of these kids. Some of them, yes, they have that issue, things that they think are going to be better on the other side, and there's not.
Yeah,
but it's not one size fits all.
No, there isn't. And look, I'll go back to this. It's like the transfer portal is like everything else. Everything else. Some things work out well and some don't. For every Danny Granger, there's a Joel Box, right? Or for every J.R. Gidden. I mean, you got your guys, and you love them when they're coming in and they contribute, and it hurts to watch them in the Final Four or the Sweet 16 in this case for somebody else, right? It's got to hurt, and it kind of made me feel weird to see a Hero Guac in the Sweet 16, or to watch Damian Jefferson for Creighton and a Guac for Loyola and Vance Jackson on Arkansas, and they were yours. And you put those guys together on this team, and what would this year look like? I get it. But you love it when they come in, and that's just the give and take. Sometimes, guys, stuff works. You hire someone, right? You've gone to work somewhere. You thought it was going to be great. None of us go into something, whether it's a relationship, a job, a marriage, none of us go in thinking it's going to end poorly. Sometimes it does. You do your best, and that's what the transfer portal is. And, John, I get it. But And is it fair, JJ? I think it's probably fair. A guy who's transferred 2-3 times, yeah, it's probably fair to say. Let me give you an idea. Is Cullen Neal, was he a problem? He transferred twice, right? Was that it? He went to New Mexico. Well, I mean, first he was going to St. Mary's. Never went to New Mexico, went to Ole Miss, went to St. Mary's. He transferred twice. Is that a problem?
I wouldn't say it's a problem. I just think it was just his
Looking for a
circumstances
spot. Yeah.
at the time and dealing with it. And sometimes it's, kids transferring when a coach is let go, unsure situations. Yeah, there's so many different things that you're dealing with in your transfer portal, and it's an absolute challenge. The sport has a difficult decision to deal with. Now, I think ultimately we'll see it back to the way it is, transfer and sit after this year. I think that it makes sense this year to have the one-time transfer rule just to try to get through this time of the extra eligibility, potential expanded rosters at a lot of these schools. But absolutely, it's challenges that coaches need to figure out. Student athletes need to adjust, because sometimes there are situations where maybe you're sold something and it doesn't quite go that way and you need to transfer. All right, you have that ability. And then high school kids, I think the next 2 years, I think it's going to be really challenging for a lot of high school kids too, making it in. So they're going to have a lot of decisions, and I think we could see more transfers in that regard. Maybe kids that have high level ability, not quite finding a spot. So the next couple of years it's going to be very busy, but ultimately it's not slowing down. So you got to figure out the best way to manage teams, athletes, programs, and figure out what fits for your culture.
Well, the high school kids are the ones who I so feel are getting lost in this thing, and it's that's what's going to be really interesting when it all comes down to it. But recruiting's tough. I want to get whether it's Danny or more so Richard Pitino in here, just on the intricacies, the whole recruiting issue, the how you keep on top of it and the new ways to do it, and how it's changed. 505-246-0610. Top of the hour, we're going to talk with Nick Nee, the head golf professional over at the Sandia Golf Club. Get your golf tip and get through the Masters. I want you to think about Dr. Stephen Coleman and Coleman Vision. If you are wearing glasses or corrective lenses and think that maybe you are a candidate for LASIK. Who's a candidate for LASIK? Any of us can be. I mean, doctors, lawyers, athletes, idiots like me, healthcare professionals, everybody. If you go to Coleman Vision on any day, you're going to see just a full swath of society. And if you're going to consider this, consider the best. Dr. Coleman will tell you straight up. Audra went in, and she's not a candidate. She wanted LASIK, and not everybody is a candidate just because of whatever it is their issue. I had a high degree of astigmatism. I was a candidate, had my surgery at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and anchored the news the next morning without lenses at 5 o'clock, and have not worn corrective lenses since. Dr. Stephen Coleman is the best. He is in on all the latest technology. It's developed here at Sandia Labs. But Dr. Coleman is playing a significant role in developing and testing the technology. He uses it, and it's used around the world. And that's why people come from everywhere and have for years to get their LASIK done at Coleman Vision by Dr. Stephen Coleman. I strongly suggest them. They are family to me, and so am I biased? Yeah, I am, because they're great people. They've been great in this community. But the bottom line is, man, this is your eyes. If you are going to get something like LASIK done, and I suggest you do, you've got to go to the best, and that's Dr. Stephen Coleman. Take a look at what they do. Go to colemanvision.com. Everything is there, and then call and make an appointment. It's area code 505-821-8880. That's 505-821-8880. It's Coleman Vision. Seeing is believing. Boy, do I believe.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
Your surprisingly great rates? Contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Art Sandoval in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Meet Greg Shamus. He's a State Farm agent, which means he's here to help with all this. But it's easier to just remember he's here to help life go right. Call State Farm agent Greg Shamus at 505-898-3648 today.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to NewMexicoHighlands.com today.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Extreme Clean
Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Ashley Duran in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Our producer, although Monday, who knows who's producing this show? Are you producing, JJ? I mean, who knows? Opening drive, Jeff Siembieda, JJ Buck, Aaron producing on the TV side. Bob Luba Hobo said, good hoe improvement from Bobcat. He said, I guess it must be true. The most hoe improvement is between the first and second hoe. So he was impressed by your extended hoe this morning.
Well, I appreciate that.
Yeah, you were practicing. I know you practice. See, when you get plates and plates and plates and trays and trays and trays of enchiladas and casserole coming out of the freezer.
Yeah, that's true. And I'll get better. 40 years of smoking has done damage to the lungs. I don't quite have the capacity yet.
Yeah, that might be not conducive to extended hoe.
That's right.
I mean, it'll get I don't know if they've done science on that. All right, here's what we're going to do. When we come back, we're getting you a golf
30.
tip. JJ, you're getting a golf tip. Nick Nee from the San Diego Golf Club will be with us. We're going to talk about the Masters. I'll get you a leaderboard, too. It's the opening drive. Happy Friday to you. Glad you're with us on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Crisp and they look good. Here's Wade in transition.
Hey!
Gonna flush it home.
Well, for a 2021 Bowl Series here at University Stadium. Short kickoff. Fielded about the 20.
Oh,
Gonzalez
hey,
got
yeah.
A big gap up the middle,
Big
one man
gap.
to beat. Let's see if beats Contreras.
He's got it.
Gonzalez will return it 80 yards for a touchdown. And it was just a matter of time before he found a crease.
It's a privilege, it's not a right, and I think these kids have found that out.
Fuentes on the quarterback
He's
option.
gonna have it.
Will break it up the middle for a touchdown.
Good job.
36-yard touchdown run by Juan Fuentes. Following.
Olivares fakes the drive inside, trying to turn it around, draws contact, puts it up, count it, and what opportunity upcoming for Olivares.
Yeah, there.
Back to pass, getting some pressure.
Oh, wide
Complete
open.
to Greathouse might go 50, 45, 40, 30. One man to beats. Fine, no. Breaks out of that tackle. Tight ropes the sideline. Touchdown. Touchdown for Peyton Greathouse.
Nope.
On a turnover again, Hodnett, they've got numbers.
Canton. Oh, and the throwdown.
Cut off. Ortiz going to take the deep three. Ortiz nails the three-point shot. Time out. Volcano Vista Cougars take a 49-47 lead. 3.3 seconds left.
Just like that. You're at the 1 yard line.
Looking over the middle. Intercepted. It's intercepted. And going down the left sideline, might take it to a house call. One man to beat, cuts it back inside at the 5. 10, one man to beat again. Cuts it back at the 5, touchdown. Interception in the return.
Who was that?
By number 8, Isaac Kinson, who's already scored an offensive touchdown.
11-4 game, 4.9 seconds to go in the first quarter. Bring up the court, Mays going inside, drawing contact, and one opportunity.
An attack. Oh, that's a great inbound play. Mata puts it up, blocked beautifully by Heckrop. Blocked beautifully. Shot at the buzzer's up, and it's good. It's good by number 5, Devin Lovato for 3. That will count.
Don't sacrifice quality and flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened? Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car Crafters is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Now, voted the best sports show in New Mexico for 5 years running. This is the opening drive with 2-time New Mexico Sportscaster of the Year, Jeff Siembieda, and J.J. Bach.
Friday at the Masters, Justin Rose is out. He's playing the 6th hole, 1 over par today. He made bogey to get started, birdie on number 2, bogeyed it looks like number 5, and is leading the Masters by 3 strokes over Bernd Wiesberger, Mark Leishman, Hideki Matsuyama, and Brian Harmon. Matsuyama and Harmon will go out a little bit later today. Terrell Hatton is on the course. He made a birdie on 2, so he's 2 under. Also, it's the opening drive. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck, usually right about now, Masters time. Dan called earlier, said he's dusted off his clubs. He's going to play for the first time. Hope you've been playing. Maybe you're just going to get up this week, and we'll get you started. But we like to start up conversations with Nick Nee, who is the head golf professional at the beautiful Sandia Golf Club, and he joins us on what I know, Nick, is one of your favorite weeks of the year. How are you? It's good to talk to you.
It's great to hear from you guys. It is absolutely my favorite time of the year. It's kind of the kickoff to the season for us and get you excited for golf. So big week in the golf industry for sure.
Yeah, it's typically, I think, in your industry, right? This is when guys tend to go, oh, yeah. Whether it's because weather didn't permit it and they live in some parts of the country, or, oh, yeah, it's golf season, and guys are in the garage dusting off their clubs and coming out and seeing you for the first time.
Yeah, absolutely. You kind of get a little excitement in the game. We kind of go stagnant there in the winter months, and You know, you have football and basketball going on, and then once March Madness is over, you get the gymnastics and Augusta, and it kind of gets the blood pumping for our industry, and it's a big week for us. You know, a lot of people start talking about golf. They start getting interested, like you're saying, and then hopefully they get out and play some golf. I know the industry has been successful in rounds, so to speak, so let's just hope it keeps going, and with the Masters, certainly can't hurt.
All right, I watched yesterday as much as I could, and that course beat up everybody except for one dude, and it just kind of shows, you know, when one guy gets it going, he can have a spectacular round, and it looks like Augusta's trying to bring Justin Rose back to earth today, but 7 under when the best, when you have only, I think, 14 guys under par, and one guy's 4 strokes clear of the field. What a round by him yesterday.
Unbelievable, right? I think the crazy thing is he was able to control his golf ball, you know, in and around the hole, and then he, you know, the key out there, make 15, 20 footers, you know, put yourself in good spots to give yourself a decent look. But what he did on the bag nine was unbelievable yesterday. It might be one of the best rounds we see all weekend. As that course gets firmer, faster, harder, you know, if they get any sort of weather that comes in, the golf course plays tough, and what they can control with that sub-air and how they can kind of put some havoc in the minds of the players, it's going to be interesting to see. You know, it's kind of funny. You start with 88 players in the field, and you maybe have 10 to 15 now. They probably could contend with the way Justin's playing, and if he can putt like that, it's going to be hard.
Put it in perspective, what he did on those last 11 holes. To go 9 under on the last 11, he was 2 over. And I heard Jim Nantz at one point say, you may not ever see a better stretch. Now, because it happened on Thursday, if he does that on Sunday, it's going to be legendary. Put it in perspective what he did there yesterday.
Well, I'll tell you what's interesting is that second 9 at Augusta, 10, 11, and 12 are hard golf holes. You know, when you're trying to just hit the green in regulation, give yourself a putt for birdie, maybe get out of there with 3 pars. And then you get, you know, 13, 15, 16 with that gettable hole location yesterday. 17 had a gettable hole location. So as he kind of navigated, you know, 9 through 12, then it was go time, and he put the pedal to the metal. You know, I think if you looked at the average score on the second 9, or at least maybe the third 6 of that golf course, he blew it out of the water. And so to do that just shows that his game's in good shape. And like I said, you got maybe 10 to 8 guys that are in contention now because of what he was able to do on that second 9.
Nick Nee is the head PGA professional at the San Diego Golf Club with us on the opening drive.
Nick, of course, we talk about conditions, greens being firm or slow that play into it, but what does Augusta present? Because there's no new surprises. They're not changing the course. It is what it is every single year, but how can it still be so challenging for guys that have had so much experience at a course like that?
Yeah, Jay, you bring up a great point, right? We see tournaments, major events kind of rotate throughout the year, but one staple is Augusta National, and they don't change anything. They don't do anything special, which is funny because you kind of see the trend of, make it long, make it the fairways narrow. Out of Augusta, they know what they have. Now, obviously, they can control what happens on the turf conditions with, like I said, the sub-air technology, where they can add some water, they can take it out. What they can do is unbelievable. But where they put some hole locations to force the players into a hittable space of maybe 3-4 yards is what makes them, is their bread and butter, and what makes that place hard. It's that second shot, it's the approach shots into these greens and where they can position the golf ball is going to be the one that's successful. And if you hit it, you know, in a window that should be 3 yards and you hit it 5, well, now you have a 45, 50-foot putt, and you're staring a 3-putt in the eyes. So it's awesome to see a golf course that doesn't make it as long as possible, that makes it as hard as possible. They stick to what they know. They stick to the tradition. And it's fun to watch. It's exciting to see, and it's certainly good for our game because we don't need long golf courses. We just need ones that maybe challenge us, and that's what they're about.
And speaking of long golf courses, there's always this talk about something with Bryson DeChambeau and his style of play. Let us know what's up with his driver, because I heard, 4 degrees, length, etc., and there's always stuff that is just over my head. So what does that mean? What is DeChambeau hitting this weekend?
You know, it's interesting. I think he tweaks it probably every round, and once he gets to the range after, tweaks it even more. So it's fun to watch. I mean, I think it's good for the game. It gives a different perspective. I think that's what's good for it. I'm one that believes there's one person in the world that can actually do it, and that's him. So I don't know that it's for the rest of us, but with the speed that he can play at, to swing the club at, and what he can do with that golf ball is unbelievable. The tough part is at Augusta, you got to shape it, and if you're not shaping it the right way into some of these hole locations, you're going to struggle, and we've seen that out of him at least last year into yesterday's rounds.
I try to explain the secret weapon, the driver, the 4.5 degrees and the 46 inches. Can you explain that to the layperson, what that means? Because I think you just run out numbers. I was saying I think the average driver is between 9 and 10.5 degrees. I think I hit 9 degrees. Maybe I'm wrong, but can you kind of put that in terms that would make some sense for the layperson?
Yeah, absolutely. So standard driver is about 10.5, like you said, right? So that's typically what the trend is for standard lofted driver, and that's just dynamic lofted setup and how the angle of the club face is. And what that plays a proponent in is the launch of the golf ball off the tee into on the trajectory. So you typically want to see a launch angle of like 13 to 15 degrees off of the driver. And so he's trying to get it with 4 degrees of loft. He's trying to get it, in the ballpark of a little bit lower with a less spin rate. He just doesn't want to get it too high. And so 4 degrees is basically his dynamic loft to help with the launch angle that he wants to ultimately have.
Is he smarter than everybody else, or does he just think he's smarter than everybody else?
I think he definitely has his own smarts. I wouldn't say he's smarter than anybody else because there's a lot of guys that are extremely smart on tour. I don't think that it's a matter of being smarter than anyone. I think he's just trying to find what works for him. When you find what works for you in this game, you stick to what you know and you stick to what you like.
Who's going to win the Masters?
Ooh. Man, tough question. Wasn't ready for that one. I'm going to go with Rose. I think he's going to hold on. I think, like I said, with his wedge play, what he's able to do with the putter, and if he's rolling the rock from 10 to 15 feet like that, it's going to be hard. One, to catch him, and two, to try and beat him. But I don't know. I do like Will Zalatoris. I think a first-timer is interesting. He's got a great story, and he's playing with, so to speak, house money.
Nick Nee is with us. He's the head PGA professional at the Siembieda Golf Club.
Well, Nick, like a lot of people, I have not played golf in a very long time. I can't wait till I get on the golf course. So what do I need to do if I haven't touched a golf club in like 14 months?
I'll bet he's ready for that one.
Yeah, I got you ready. First, you need to just call your PGA professional and get a lesson book. So there's my plug there. But really what you need to do is you just need to get out and play. You need to get out and knock some rust off. What I tell people, my kind of phrase this time of the year is don't put any stock in score. Don't go out and look to shoot a score. Don't go out and look to, play some great golf. Just knock the rust off. Find some tendencies that are common in your game, whether it's a driver, irons, putter, chipping usually is what you see. But don't put stock in score. Go out and just play. Get the swing going, get comfortable, and then start looking at some instruction as to some of those common flaws or tendencies that are ailing your golf game. But don't put stock in score. Just go out and play, knock the rust off, and then get to see a PGA professional who can help you lower those scores based off the tendencies that you have.
Is it fair to make a suggestion when you go out and hit some balls, don't just hit drivers, but go by the chipping green and work on your short game? I actually went out and shot a score that I was okay with last week, and I hit 10 out of 14 fairways, but my short game was so rusty. I mean, it feels like that's the thing when you don't play for a minute. It's your short game that really leaves you.
Absolutely. It's obviously the hardest. It's the touch and feel that you just haven't had in a while. I'll tell you, I don't know that everything works for everybody what I do, but typically it's coming out of the off season. I go hit 30, 40, 50, 60-yard shots. It's just a miniature golf swing. I'm just focusing on impact. I'm focusing on where I'm controlling the golf ball in this short shot. And what that'll translate to is when you do take a full swing, that impact point, whether it's a short pitch shot of 30 yards or a full swing of 150-yard 8-iron or 9-iron, whatever your yardage is for that impact point's about the same. So how the club reacts on that short shot, if you can kind of groove that impact with the feel good impact, the low point of the club, get in the chipping area like you said, because it's going to translate into that full swing a lot quicker.
All right, you guys are open for business at Siembieda.
Yeah, absolutely, we did. We We're open to the public, to Champions Club members or guests. We do run specials online, sandiegolf.com. You can book tee times through the public portal. You'll see the current rate for that time. We did just verify about 2 weeks ago, but, the golf course is in tremendous shape. This is when it starts greening up and you start to see it kind of popping back to its flourishing and pure state. So we hope everyone comes out and enjoys it. We do ask, obviously, like we mentioned all of last year, that you follow all of our COVID-safe policies that are online at San Diego Golf as well. But we hope to see everyone out here. We hope to see everyone playing golf. It's kind of like we said earlier, it's the kickoff to our season, and we're extremely excited about it.
Man, it's good to hear you. For me, it means the weather's getting better. That means I'm going to play some golf and come out and see you for some instruction pretty soon. Nick, enjoy the weekend. I know you will. Thanks for spending some time with us.
Absolutely. Appreciate you having me. Great to hear from y'all as well.
He is Nick Nee. He's the head PGA professional at the beautiful San Diego Golf Club. I don't know, man. For me, JJ, there's like light. I'm sitting 2 blocks from the beach. Sun's coming over the trees, bouncing off my bald dome. Baseball season is here. The Masters is on. It's like, okay, spring, hope runs eternal. You know what I mean?
So you're telling me you're feeling pretty good?
Yeah, well, I don't feel pretty bad, I'll tell you that. 505-246-0610. We're going to talk global women's soccer. Gwen Malley's going to be with us as they prepare to play 2 matches at home this weekend. That's going to be at 9:30. Your phone calls if you want to get in, 246-0610. We're on ProView Networks, where Aaron is sitting in a room by himself producing our show. Bob is sitting in a room producing by himself on the radio side on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Getting by is getting expected.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Marty Size in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
A rogue virus, no jobs, sky-high tuition debt. Life is trying to put our generation on the sidelines. But we refuse to just sit back and watch it pass us by. Instead, watch us fly ahead. Watch us overcome anything. Watch us rise. Watch us change our world. Watch us become the next greatest generation.
Calling all football players, are you looking to develop your skills this season? It's never too late or too early to put in the work. Coach Carl Barrere and the Air Barrere program at 8 Grady's Performance Center provide comprehensive position training for aspiring football players at all levels. Whether you're looking to increase your speed, gain strength, or hone your skill, we train all positions with a team of experienced coaches who know what it takes to succeed at all levels from Yaffle to college. Check us out at 8gradys.com to learn more and sign up for training today.
Jackson Compaction wants to help you keep your green and keep the community green as well. Jackson Compaction has worked hard to maintain the same prices since day one. Always easy and painless trash removal with professional crews and quality service. If it's non-hazardous waste, debris, or trash on your land, leave it to us. At Jackson Compaction, we're dedicated to ensuring the conservation of our environment. You trash it, we smash it. Jackson Compaction, we've earned a reputation for great results.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Hayes. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Tucson, Arizona.
Hi, I'm Staff Sergeant Greg Martinez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
Hi, I'm Marilena Fernandez. I'm with the New Mexico Army National Guard, and I'm from Santa Fe, New Mexico.
The New Mexico Army National Guard is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school athletics.
your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Art Sandoval in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Next in line.
Rudy's is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Sadie's is a proud supporter of New Mexico high school sports and athletics, and we here at ProView Networks would like to thank Sadie's for their continued support in helping us bring you all of your New Mexico high school sports coverage.
Meet Greg Shamus. He's a State Farm agent, which means he's here to help with all this. But it's easier to just remember he's here to help life go right. Call State Farm agent Greg Shamus at 505-898-3648 today.
Rome Show is up next at 10, 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal.
All right, good to talk to Nick, and I'll get you the leaderboard in a minute. I want to talk some baseball here briefly. It's the opening drive, Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. So, J.J., we hear in football every year there's a points of emphasis that the officials are looking for, whatever it happens to be. Basketball, the same. Baseball evidently has made a point of emphasis to prevent foreign substances on baseball, pine tar, whatever it is. And it feels like they've got a little investigation going on, and the Dodgers are front and center of this. Trevor Bauer is the one. Is it fair to call him the ace of that staff? Who the hell's the ace of that staff?
So you're telling me we have Bauer Ballgate now? What was on Bauer's balls is what we're dealing with in Major League Baseball?
However it is you want to put it. Yeah, however you want to say it. It's the Bauer hour with what's on there. I guess the umpires in Trevor Bauer's start against the A's on Thursday collected a bunch of balls, however many multiple baseballs there are. And according to Major League Baseball, they had visible markings and were sticky. So these were sent to the league office for further inspection. And this is from a story that came out on this. If the balls Bauer threw were found to have foreign substances, then the league's got to prove that he was responsible for the application of said foreign substances, and then whether or not he will be punished. So this is early, but yeah, you've got a Bauer Ballgate. I don't even know what to make of this.
The baseball causing such an issue in the game of baseball, was it juiced? Are the seams different? Are the seams too high? Are the seams not high enough? How are you supposed to grip a baseball? How are you supposed to throw a curveball? And now you got MLB CSI, where they are checking spin rates of players' data to see if there is an increase above the norm to keep track of these situations. I have no idea what is going on with the baseball right now, Major League Baseball. None.
So I didn't know this, but back in 2018, I guess Trevor Bauer was really vocal about how and this was a Twitter and social media thing about how really effective foreign substances can be and how they can help the pitcher achieve more spin. And he basically, at that point, stopped short of accusing the Astros of doing that.
Put it on the list. Things I got to deal with.
Right? So next time he pitched, after he was doing that, his spin rates, how do you judge spin rate?
Via computer technology.
You can't just go out to a Little League game and judge against spin rate, right?
Like, oh, he's throwing 2,000. Good spin rate there.
Yeah. Evidently, right after that, his spin rate in his next start jumped quite a bit, and he had no comment when he was at. And this guy always has a comment, right? I mean, this guy has a comment on everything. He was asked about it, and then he won the Cy Young Award last season with big jumps in his spin rate over his spin rates from the year before. So he was kind of the target, one of the guys who, when they came out with this memo, they were looking at Trevor Bauer on this.
Yeah, and I can see that. So You put A and B together to get C in this case. Trevor Bauer put something on the baseball. I'm going to go out on that limb and say, yeah, he's indeed doing something in the baseball.
Yeah, well, that's quite a limb that you're going out on. I don't. Did you ever doctor baseball when you played? Did you ever try to?
No,
do
I never thought of that. I was like, here's a baseball, I'm throwing it.
That's how I was too, man. And I grew up back in the day where Phil Negro and those guys were getting older, and there was Vaseline on the ball and whatever it was, and I just never really at that point understood it. I was just trying to throw a strike for crying out loud, but we'll watch it. We'll see where it goes. I don't know. Your Masters leaderboard, Justin Rose down to -5, JJ. He's got a 1-stroke lead now over Bernd Wiesberger, who's -4, and Mark Leishman.
We not talk about Wiesberger more. He always does this the first 2 days of the Masters. He's always like, hey, look at me, I'm awesome.
There's a bunch of guys that are like that, right? There are a bunch of guys that do that early and don't go. But so Justin Rose is coming back to the pack just a little bit. And who else is making a little bit of a move today? Nothing really. I mean, Terrell Hatton's hanging around. Scotty Scheffler is 2 under for the day. Is he on my team?
No.
I don't have Scotty Scheffler?
No, you went. Did you go Scheffler?
Who's on my team?
No, you went Schauffele, not Scheffler.
Yeah. Who's on my team? What's my team?
You have Dustin Johnson. Oh no, you have Scheffler. Yeah, you do. I got him mixed up. My apologies. You got DJ, Xander, Scotty, Cantlay, Spieth.
Cantlay's gonna kill me. All right, Spieth is.
Well, that's all right. It's a boy AA Ron over there has Sung J M at +5, and then good old Rory at +4. So.
All right. Well, so I got 4 of my 5 above even par. Justin Thomas is going to make a move today, I'm saying. DJ will make a move today, and Xander.
By the way, Song J.M. now 7 over.
Attaboy, Aaron. I'm hungry. Where we going? We're going to Sizzler. I'm going to Sizzler. Is there even a Sizzler anymore to go to?
No. They gone.
It's funny that Nick said Will Zalatoris because that's a guy that I was looking at as well. But we'll see. We got a good weekend that should be really.
Yeah, I'm not as confident on Justin Rose is going to win the Masters leading from start to finish.
Yeah. Deutsch says Nick Nee needs to get a hold of Jerry Palm's new phone provider. Might be right.
It's a little windy this morning. Probably had some things to do at the golf course.
He might be on the golf. Remember during the COVID, that guy was out mowing lawns and stuff. Not only was he your head PGA professional and running the golf shop and teaching lessons and setting up schedules, he was out mowing lawns and like everybody else was because, well, we all did a lot of different things during the COVID. All right, 505-246-0610 if you want to get in. We're going to talk a little soccer coming up.
Gwen Malley, senior, tied for the lead in goals scored on the Lobos with 6. And a very good story coming back. An unexpected senior season, but a very successful one so far.
It's the opening drive. We're on ProView Networks at 95.9 FM and AM 610, the sports animal, JJ.
Are you trying to figure out when and where you need to work out? It can absolutely be overwhelming with your busy schedules, and when it's all said and done, it leads you to not working out at all. F45 Functional Training changes that by giving you high-intensity training in a 45-minute class. Take control of your fitness now and check out F45training.com and download the F45 app. The app will tell you the schedule of classes throughout the week, what workouts are coming up, and classes are available 7 days a week. So you're going to be able to find one that works for you. And as I said, you face a new challenge every day with the variety of classes that they have. For me during the week, I'm calling it games at night. I'm full on dad mode for a 2-year-old until mom comes home. It's very busy Monday through Friday. So the weekend classes, Saturday and Sunday morning, come in clutch for me, and there's going to be a class that works for you. F45 Training has certified trainers at every class to help motivate and modify if needed. The atmosphere is great, and there's no wasted time in the 45-minute session, so your full focus can be on getting the best out of the workout that you can in a manageable time frame. You can do it, and F45 is here for your fitness and functional full body training. Check them out at F45training.com. Download the F45 app to sign up for your 7-day free trial. Team training, life-changing. I'll see you at F45.
At New Mexico Highlands University, you're more than a student, you're family. Whether you're taking courses in Las Vegas, Santa Fe, Rio Rancho, Albuquerque, or Farmington, you'll get that one-on-one attention to inspire you to reach your goals. Let New Mexico Highlands help take your passion and accelerate it into a career and fulfilling life path. Find out why New Mexico Highlands is the right choice for you. Log on to NewMexicoHighlands.com today.
TurboThreads is a proud sponsor of ProView Networks.
Almost 30 years of experience means fast service, great prices, and a wide selection of apparel from t-shirts to performance sports shirts, even jackets and hats. They feature low minimums and no setup charges on most orders. TurboThreads is located at 1503 Golf Course Road in Rio Rancho, or find them on Facebook, online at turbothreads.com, or call 999-1234 for TurboThreads.
Plan your adventure at WNMU.edu.
Extreme Clean is a proud sponsor and supporter of ProView Networks and all high school sports athletics. Owner Mike McLean and Extreme Clean specialize in carpet cleaning for apartment, realty, business, and residential clients. With over 20 years experience, attention to detail and quality customer service matters. For more information, give them a call, 505-221-6440, Extreme Clean.
For your surprisingly great rates, contact your local State Farm agent today.
If you want the real deal, call State Farm agent Ashley Duran in Albuquerque today.
Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Here at Legacy, we are here to disciple people by helping them connect with God, grow in relationships, and live generously.
Global women's soccer takes center stage tonight over at the UNM Soccer Complex. 7:30 they will play Wyoming. 1 o'clock on Sunday against Colorado State. UNM is 7-1 on the season and has already clinched the Mountain Division Championship of the Mountain West Conference. Jeff Siembieda and J.J. Buck. We'll get back to your phone calls coming up in a little bit, but such a great story what's going on at UNM Soccer, and they're going to compete for a championship next week. And a really good story is well, there's so many of them, but senior Gwen Malley joins us this morning on the opening drive, enjoying a wonderful senior season. Hello, Gwen. How are you this morning?
Hi, I'm doing really good. I'm happy to be here talking with you.
No, we're glad you're with us. Hey, how about this season? Is the season? It's like everybody's gone through this, and everybody's got their stories of, we didn't think we were going to get here, and the COVID's affected everybody. But for you guys, have your season shut down and go through the unknown. And obviously your injury is another story, but going through the unknown, to just be able to play had to be a big deal. But to have the season you're having, how special is what's going on with UNM Soccer right now?
It's been really special. I mean, I think our whole team is just so grateful that we get to play and so grateful that we get to be around each other. And I think it's been really awesome how great of a season we're having because our program was shut down for most of the fall, and a lot of the other teams that we're playing right now, they were actually able to still keep practicing in the fall. So it's been incredible that even though we didn't practice as much as some of the other teams, we've been able to compete really well with them and have a really successful season.
Yeah, Gwen, I think everybody knows New Mexico's been more restrictive than other places. What did you all do as a team? When our state was so restricted on what you could do, how did you keep things together as a team?
Yeah, it was definitely challenging. We tried to stay unified through like team Zoom meetings. Our coaches set up various events with people in the community, like nutrition talks, player development talks with really some inspirational people. So I think that helped us stay motivated. And we were put into small groups, so everyone was training by themselves, but we would send what our workouts were in those small groups, and I think that helped everyone stay committed to having the opportunity to play later on.
Joined by Lobo senior forward Gwen Malley. It's senior night tonight for New Mexico taking on Wyoming, 7:30 at UNM Soccer Complex. But Gwen, for you didn't think you were going to get to play your senior season, and it wasn't because of necessarily COVID. You suffered an ACL injury last spring, so in a way the pause was positive for you. What was your mindset last year? Because I heard that you weren't going to play a senior season because you have goals, of course, beyond soccer. So what was it like last year rehabbing from the injury, but then figuring out that you're going to get to play a senior season?
Yeah, I just feel so incredibly grateful that I am able to play my last senior season. Like you said, I had a ACL injury in the spring of last year, and I wouldn't be fully recovered until December. So normally with our season in the fall, we would be done with our season by December. So I kind of expected that my soccer career would be over and that I wouldn't be able to play another game. So it was actually a really big blessing for me for the season to be moved to the spring because it gave me an opportunity to recover and to play again. And after my senior season, I'm planning on attending medical school. So I kind of expected that if the season was in the fall, I would just support the team from the sidelines and then prepare for medical school. But it's been really fun getting the chance to play one final season this spring.
And, of course, getting a chance to play that final season with head coach Heather Dyke. And she took over in 2015. Your freshman year was 2016, so you're one of the first recruits for Heather coming to this program. What was it about her, and, of course, UNM, that brought you here from California?
Yeah, Heather's an incredible coach. I feel really lucky to have been able to learn from her. One of her top goals is that as players we become empowered and become really strong, inspirational women that can go on after soccer to impact the community and have like a strong impact on whatever field we want to go into. So I really appreciated that about coming in to play for Heather. Just her idea that soccer is important, but it's bigger than soccer. So I feel like she's done a lot to help me prepare for medical school. So I'm really appreciative for the leader that she's been to me. And then New Mexico itself, I think, is just a really special place to play for. Not many other places have the amount of support that we have for the University of New Mexico. I think it's really cool that the whole state supports our soccer team. And at games, we just have so many fans that come and support, and it just makes it such a fun atmosphere to play under.
It's a great message. Gwen Malley is with us. Lobo Senior soccer plays tonight against Wyoming out at the soccer complex, and then on Sunday against Colorado State. Hey, what do you want to do with that medical degree? What's the thought as you go to medical school? What is it you want to do?
Yeah, I want to go into pediatrics. I think just general pediatrics, but I really enjoy working with kids and would really love to be a pediatrician.
Yeah, that's really, really something. Hey, you talked about the soccer community, and it's so big here in Albuquerque, and you coming from California, you seem to have a really good appreciation for it. Has the women's team taken on, I don't know if you've ever discussed this, with the men's program being disbanded, or whatever the word is, have you guys talked about the responsibility or what that meant to the women's program moving forward at the University of New Mexico, being the only soccer program now at the university?
Yeah, that was definitely very difficult. My first, I think, 2 or 3 years, we had the men's program, and now it's just the women's program. But I think we still have kept our same goals as a team, like to play with heart, to represent New Mexico, and really be role models to young kids in the community. And it's hard not having a men's program here, but I think we've kept our same goals as a program, even though we don't have a men's program.
You mentioned what Heather Dyke has done in the time that she's been here. As you've watched the improvement of this program, and just where you are now, competing for a conference championship, what's made the program so much better? I mean, whether it's Heather's leadership, whether it's talent, what is it for you that you can pinpoint and say, this is why this program has grown over the last 4 years?
Yeah, I think it comes down to our team culture. I mean, we have such a great bond between our players, and that comes from treating each other with respect and acting with integrity and working hard for one another. And I think combining those things of really working hard for one another and also just trying to enjoy the opportunity to play has made our team grow a lot and be successful this past year.
I mean, when you talk about what was done last summer, you guys trying to stay connected, building that culture, it was a tough time for a lot of people, but the positives that you take out of it, how are you a better person, a better player, and how are you a better team from what you guys had to deal with last year?
I'd say the biggest thing I've really taken away from this experience is to appreciate the little moments and have appreciation for the opportunity to play. Soccer is one of my passions, and I really love playing, and having that taken away for a little bit just made me appreciate it more and made me really enjoy being around my teammates a lot more. And I think that's one of the things that helped us be successful, is that we play with such joy, and it's just so fun to be out there. So I think, yeah, just appreciation of the little things.
So I think it's a beauty. I was having this conversation earlier about just, the high school athletes, college athletes, just to get to play. But here you are, Gwen, at the end of what's been a tremendous career for you. You got a chance to play for a championship. What would it mean for you before you go to medical school to be able to, thank you, to be in the NCAA tournament, to finish this thing, to take this program to the postseason, to win a conference championship and get to the NCAA tournament?
That's been one of my top goals since I came in as a freshman, and we've come really close a couple of times, made it to the final game, but we haven't made it to the NCAA tournament in my 5 years, so it would mean everything for me if we could make it to the tournament this year.
Gwen, one of the things, too, about your roster, you guys have a big squad. So to have that culture, to have that intensity, it's a lot of fun watching you. So if people haven't yet, and they need to experience UNM Women's Soccer, they have the opportunity tonight. What type of style, what type of team will people see when they show up at that UNM Soccer complex?
I'd say we play really gritty. We work really hard for each other. When we do have the ball, we try to connect a lot of passes, play through other teams. But I think the atmosphere of our team is just really supportive and really fun. Like you said, we have a really big roster this year. But every player has embraced whatever their role is. If that means they're starting, if that means they're coming off the bench, if they're injured this year, everyone is each other's biggest advocate. And so I think if you do come to the game tonight, it'll be a lot of fun and it'll be a lot of energy.
Gwen, congratulations on a successful career. Really, really, really enjoyed this. I know great things are coming your way. Best of luck to you, not just tonight and on Sunday and in the championship, but as you move on in your medical career. And I know you'll always be a part of UNM soccer. But thanks for spending just a few minutes with us today. Best of luck as you continue, and congratulations on all the success.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
She is Gwen Malley. How about that? That's JJ. Sometimes I'm so impressed by some of the student athletes we have on with us, and composed, focused, and just such the right message. Like that. I don't know. For me, that was really refreshing.
Yeah, and it's a cool story. It's one of the positives, and it was such a tough year to find any positives across the board for anything. But you're looking at an athlete that thought the senior season was lost, just because also coming not just COVID, but tore ACL in spring practice. And yet was able to come back from that, take advantage of it being moved to this spring. And then you're talking about a senior leader tied for the lead in goals scored this season, and one win this weekend means they'll be hosting that Mountain West Championship game next weekend.
Yeah. All right, we're going to come back. You can get in on that 2460610 if you want. I'll get you a leaderboard in. I'll give you this. It's tightening up. It's the opening drive on 95.9 FM and AM 670 Sports Animal and ProView Networks.
Crisp and they look good. Here's Wade in transition.
Hey!
He's got to flush it home.
Well, for a 2021 Bowl Series here at University Stadium. Short kickoff. Fielded about the 20.
Oh,
Gonzalez got a big gap up the middle, one man to beat. Let's see, beats Contreras.
He's got it.
Gonzalez will return it 80 yards for a touchdown. And it was just a matter of time before he found a crease.
It's a privilege, it's not a right. And I think these kids have found that out.
Fuentes on the quarterback
He's
option.
gonna have it.
Will break it up the middle for a touchdown.
Good job.
36-yard touchdown run by Juan Fuentes. Following.
Drive inside, trying to turn it around, draws the contact, puts it up, count it, and one opportunity upcoming for Oliveras.
Yeah, there.
Back to pass, getting some pressure.
Oh, wide
Link
open.
to Greathouse. Greathouse might go 50, 45, 40, 30. One man to beats. Fine, no. Breaks out of that tackle. Tight ropes the sideline. Touchdown. Touchdown for Peyton Greathouse.
Nope.
Turnover again, Hobnet, they got numbers. Canton. Oh, and the throwdown.
Cut off. Ortiz going to take the deep three. Ortiz nails the three-point shot. Time out. Volcano Vista. Cougars take a 49-47 lead. 3.3 seconds left.
Just like that. You're at the 1 yard line.
Looking over the middle. Intercepted. It's intercepted. And going down the left sideline, might take it to a house call. One man to beat, cuts it back inside at the 5. 10, one man to beat again. Cuts it back at the 5, touchdown. Interception in the return.
Who was that?
By number 8, Isaac Kinson, who's already scored an offensive touchdown.
Game, 4.9 seconds to go in the first quarter. Bring up the court, Mays going inside, drawing contact, and one opportunity.
An attack. Oh, it's a great inbound play. Lavato puts it up, blocked beautifully by Heckrop. Blocked beautifully. Shot at the buzzer's up, and it's good. It's good by number 5, Devin Domino Lovato for 3. That will count.
Don't sacrifice quality of flavor when you're in a hurry. Golden Pride offers ribs, fried chicken, green and red chili breakfast burritos, and Frontier Cinnabons. 4 great locations, or visit us online at goldenpride@abq.com. Golden Pride Barbecue Chicken and Ribs, proud supporter of ProView Sports Network.
Well, I'm going to the frontier, walking to the cashier, order up a root beer and a number 1. Cover it with green stuff, 1 scoop is not enough. Find a booth is real tough, backed by the Duke. Meet my family, meet my friends in the quirkiest restaurant I have ever been. All of Albuquerque's favorite spot, it's the Frontier Restaurant.
The Frontier Restaurant is a proud supporter of ProView Networks.
Are you sure we're supposed to be doing this?
Don't worry, I've watched him do it 1,000 times. Come on, what's the worst that can happen?
No! Bad dog!
Hi, welcome to Car Crafters. What happened?
Don't worry, we'll make it like it never happened.
Car Crafters, it's like it never happened.
Car
Well, we got a golf tournament. Masters is underway, round 2. Friday at Augusta. JJ, I don't know if you know, it's a tradition unlike any other. And it's getting a little tighter. Your guy, Justin Rose, who ran away from the field yesterday, is coming right back to it. He's playing number 8. He's through 7 today. He's 3 over today, which makes him still your leader at -4, but just 1 better than Bernd Wiesberger and Mark Leishman. Your top American is still Brian Harmon, who isn't on the golf course yet. Jordan Spieth is 1 under today. He birdied number 2. So he's just 2 back. Look at Jordan Spieth. You give Jordan Spieth a chance this week?
You have to.
Don't you?
Absolutely. You look at the people that are coming for Justin Rose, and I'm sorry, Nick Nee, Rose is not winning this tournament leading from start to finish. You got Patrick Reed sitting there at 2 under. Webb Simpson, even par, Justin Thomas. Tony Finau, well, I don't know, is Tony Finau ever going to win a major? There's too many big dogs within striking distance. John Rahm, Xander Schauffele, even yet to start their round today to think Justin Rose can run away with this.
What about M? CJ M is. I heard he was going to eagle every hole the rest of the way in. Not just birdie him. I mean, Aaron told me he's going to eagle him all the way in.
Got some work to do. He's 8 over.
He's 8 over. I had CT Pan at one of my teams, and he's 6 over. What's the cut line? Have we seen a projected cut? I guess
I'm sure we can see one, but it's so early.
Yeah, it's going to move.
Field on the course.
Yeah, it's going to move quite a bit. All right, so you got that all weekend. I want you to hit a little bit because you do global women's soccer on the TV side. Again, if people want to watch that game tonight, if they can't get out there, it's on ProView Networks, correct?
Tonight, no, it's the Mountain West Network. These are on the Mountain West Network. So golobos.com or the NW.com. Just click on watch. You can pop up the stream.
And JJ will have the call.
Yeah, me and Tyler Ortega on the call this weekend. I actually doing global softball, stepping up, doing some games. So Tyler will have Sunday's game. So, yeah, excited for tonight. Hopefully they can get the win out of the way and clinch home field in the championship.
All right, for those of you who don't know, and JJ gave you the stat earlier, they're 7-1. They have outscored their opponents 20-2. And, again, you don't have to know soccer well to just let that sink in. They've given up 2 goals this season. Is it defense? Is it goaltending? Like, why have they been so dominant?
It's the play in front of net. Emily Johnson has stepped up, and she's been fantastic in her 7 starts with 25 saves. Her goals against average is .25, which is obviously the best in the conference.
Yeah,
but they returned all 4 starters in a back line. So their 2 center backs, the 2 fullbacks played last year. And so they're experienced. They play well together. Carly Mays is a phenomenal center back that I was talking with Heather this week, saying she should probably be the defensive player of the year for her leadership and play. So it starts in the field You have a senior keeper in that, but the thing that was crazy, and I was looking at it, opponents are only averaging 7 shots a game, not on goal. Just 7 shots attempted anywhere near the Lobos' goal this season. And that's just insane. Because you watch soccer, there's a lot of shot attempts. Sometimes they don't get on goal, but teams, 15, 20 shots. No, their teams are getting off 7 against this team. They are so dominant defensively.
Yeah, I mean, that's just insanity when you start thinking about that. No wonder they're so good. Have you been able to look at anybody on the western west side, the other side? It looks like San Diego State. I mean, do you have any idea how this team compares? Obviously, they've been rolling through the Mountain Division. They lost 1-0 at Utah State in a quirky game. We probably should have talked to Gwen a little bit about that. But have you been able to get a feel for what's on the other side? Because I've been getting to the NCAA tournament, and Gwen talked about it. What would that mean? Big deal for the whole athletic program.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, there's some talent. And you look at San Diego State, UNLV, they have some goal scorers. The Aztecs would be a heck of a challenge with the way they're playing. But defensively, on what New Mexico has done, they match up with anyone right now in this conference and would be obviously favored at home if they're able to host that championship game.
And if they win one of these 2 matches this weekend, then they will get that match at home. The Mountain West Conference Championship will be in Albuquerque, and it'll be next weekend with the chance to go to the NCAA tournament. This is one of those years where, and it's never been like this, but I would really like to see how they would have played out of conference. I wish they would have gotten to, play some of these non-conference games and get them out of conference and just see, how they stack up.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot of programs on that campus right now wondering, what would it have looked like if we had the opportunity to challenge as a play a usual power conference opponent, the non-conference schedule, but do the best with what you have to work with. And that opportunity can present itself to step outside the box with a new challenge. If you can win a Mountain West championship.
Yeah, sorry about losing the video. Literally, it said, it's sitting out here in the sun, and it said it's too hot. The device.
That's all right.
Seriously.
It cut off at a fantastic shot for you. Like, just it was one of those looks, moments in time, freeze frames out. It's just great.
Obviously, it's not very good. That's all right. I'm done. Sorry about that. Yeah, this worked out all right, huh? Doing the show in the sun.
This was great. Very jealous, but enjoy your weekend. You looked phenomenal.
Yeah, when I looked at the shots with the palm tree behind us, it looked like one of those backdrops that everybody's got set up. Like John Traub had the ballpark in the background on the Zoom the other day. All right, so you get all weekend. You get the baseball, you get the Masters, you get the soccer, you get the high school sports. Aaron, Probe, you're going to be a little busy, huh? Go ahead and give a plug on what you guys have going, because what you guys have been doing is phenomenal. Not just the quantity of games, but the quality with which you've been providing high school sports for fans who just can't get there. People aren't allowed at indoor events, so all the indoor stuff, the only way to see it is you guys, and then limited capacity for the outdoor stuff.
Yeah, so I know this weekend we're going to be starting baseball for Rio Rancho. We're going to have state championship soccer finishing up this weekend. And, yeah, basketball. So
that's so good. It's so good. All right, enjoy that. It's JJ. We're at that time, and we saw this coming. When things were going to start up again, they were going to start up in big numbers. We went so long without anything, and to be able to have it and try to keep track of everything, it's the convergence, and here we are. So, all right, you got the call tonight, 7:30 kickoff over at the UNM Soccer Complex. You can listen to JJ there. And then you got softball on Sunday, huh?
Yeah, picking up softball. All 3 games this weekend, actually. So they're on the Mountain West Network as well. Busy weekend of athletics. So there's something for everyone, and we got you covered.
Who's going to win the Masters?
Who's going to win the Masters? I am going to go with Hideki Matsuyama.
Really?
Let's do it. Let's make some history. Let's get it done.
I'm going to go with Jordan Spieth.
Because he's on my team.
Yeah, that's my team too. I was going to go with DJ, but it feels like it's too obvious with DJ. I'm on DJ and Jordan Spieth or Sun Jae Im.
He's gonna eagle all the holes.
So did he eagle the next hole, Aaron?
I'm going to say no, he didn't.
Yeah, I'm going to guess he didn't. But it's a tradition unlike any other. Watch Trevor Bauer and the baseballs, and watch that. All right. The Jim Rome Show is next. The Herd with Colin Cowherd will be after that. Trulio and Carlisle come your way with the sports bar this afternoon at 4. That's more local sports talk. And then more award-winning radio for you starting at 7 a.m. on Monday. JJ and Nedward Abraham James on Monday.
Ooh,
you don't know who's
big show on
producing?
deck.
Yeah,
We'll see.
Bigger. And maybe JJ's producing for all I know. Hey, Aaron, great work always. Bob, thank you for continuing to make this show.
It's been fun, and I hope to have a long run.
Well, we'll catch you next week. Enjoy the weekend. JJ, have great calls this weekend. Enjoy the weekend.
See y'all.
Be good to each other, please. Be kind, loving, caring, and sharing. We'll smell you on Monday. Have a great, safe weekend.